As a father and great man, love Filipino. Invaluable lessons through both his words and actions. He taught us about resilience, integrity and compassion, principles he embodied every day. His favorite saying was, "Son of a shark." And it's this wisdom that we carry forward in our lives. Son of a shark, you're in our heart. Love, father and friend, so love to the end. 'Cause the times we had weren't a movie scene, just a blur of moments in a tired routine. But you are like me, and now I'm watching my granddaughter growing up so fast, hoping our own little moments will somehow last. Like a mirror of myself in those long gone days, and I just hope he knows that he's a part of me. Like a worn out photograph in an old memory.
Good morning. Good morning, Magadan Po.
Good morning, guys. How are you guys doing today? Hope you guys have a beautiful Monday.
Yeah, here, man. All right, guys. Few things going on.
Wait, that doesn't make sense.
What?
Football's Monday Night Football. Not
Maybe there was a Sunday game.
right. That's different.
Okay, so. Okay.
Yeah, sorry. I don't know much.
Watching. Yeah,
I know enough
NFL.
football, but anyway.
That's right. It was Monday Night Football, but
Yeah,
it could have changed. I mean, I haven't,
Yeah,
paid
guys.
attention to
Monday
it.
Night Football is still Monday Night Football, right? I mean, I could be wrong. I mean, again, it's been a while since I've been, in the U.S. But
Okay, a few things going on today. Let's see. Before we get into the story today, we're kind of building the room. But yeah, go ahead.
huh? What? Okay, well, all right. Now, there's been stuff going on in the background that I haven't been telling anyone, only because
Your family's pretty private. It's the way your family
not only that.
is,
I mean, you have to remember that again. It's. I don't want to sound crass, but reality is a lot of people don't care, nor do they want to hear bad news. And again, and I've always been an optimist, and I didn't call it denial.
I think so, but even to the point of not even telling me how bad it was.
Well,
until George is sure of something, or to the point
correct.
of where he
Unless
thinks,
I'm sure. That's why I said the only time I argue is when I'm talking facts. Now, what I'm saying is I don't say anything unless everything's determined. Like for example, predictions. There are some predictions that I made a while back, and again, this is between me and Heidi, and I even told Heidi, I said I predicted this, but I won't let anybody else know because I'm not that kind of person. So what I'm getting at is it's been going on for a couple weeks now, and it's a serious issue, and it's a serious family matter. And for those of you who haven't figured it out yet, for those of you who watched the intro again is a dedication to my father, Dad, I love you, and I hope you have a wonderful time in heaven.
Yeah. So his dad passed away.
Yes, my dad passed away at around 1:10 a.m. in the morning on Saturday, and he's gonna be sorely missed. And I mean,
Yeah, and see, I didn't even know how sick he was either.
yeah,
So
and I did keep this a secret from Heidi, again, because I didn't want any.
you keep a lot of secrets. You just hold
Well, not
there's a few
necessarily
reasons.
bad secrets, but you have to remember again. You have to, because honestly, most of the family members, except for my brother, which is the doctor, of course, um, honestly, we thought he'd make it through the 2026. You know what I'm saying? And because I don't know about you guys, I'm pretty sure most of you want their parents to live forever. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean that's
Yeah.
and that's where I've been in the last couple of weeks, and it's it's hard and it's painful. You know what I mean? But
Yeah, when you have a sick parent and stuff.
yeah,
That was not to detract from that. There's like my mom with cancer. They said she had 6 months. She lived 5 years. It was 5 years of her sick the whole time. And then you never know when you get that call in the night. So then you're under a certain amount of stress. Every time the phone rang in the night, I used to think something happened, but she passed at 50 years old. So it's
yeah. So
yeah, so we've just, I know people will say, about, you're doing a live, we're just doing things, um, because of course, his dad is in the United States, and so it's, yeah, so one day at a time. So it's been, you know, yeah.
yeah, and again, I mean, like for instance, like Saturday. Honestly, I didn't want to show up in the live because I'm literally,
So I told you guys he was over there. I had
yeah,
no
I was
idea.
literally like watching the phone, watching for anything new. And I mean, it's what I'm saying is if I did show up for the live, I knew I wouldn't be here anyway, if that makes any sense. So therefore, it's be better if I just remove myself out of the equation and then at least let the live and Heidi run the show and let it run smooth
I run the show anyway.
versus me just sitting here and then it causes anxiety. You guys get the picture, and that's what the situation was. So yeah, thank you guys. I love you all. Thank you for the ones that again that support this channel and support me and Heidi. And again, thank you for the ones that sent me messages, giving their support regarding the issue. And thank you for the ones that are giving the support right now, as I can see. Thank you so much.
I'm still collecting for George's funeral funds.
Yeah, and of course the song is it was written by Heidi, of course. Although I say although
Yeah,
the
tell
part
your
of the
story.
song, some of you guys who did watch the start of the show, and again, for those of you who didn't see that, go back, rewind, and watch the intro song, "Son of a Shark." Okay, now "Son of a Shark" is actually a thing that my dad used to say, believe it or not. Now, guys, I don't know what country you're from or whatever. Let me know if you guys ever heard of this saying before. The reason why is because honestly, I think my dad invented this saying. Now, of course, it's said in our language. It's anak pateng, anak pateng. Okay, now which literally translates to, of course, son of a shark. Now he says three things. Okay, first off, it's anak anak pateng, which is very common, and then there's anak baka, which means what's the other one I just mentioned?
Vaca,
Yeah, which is
cow.
Right. He says, son of a cow. No, I'm not making this up. Again, I believe my dad is the only one that says this. So, son of a shark, son of the cow. And of course, lastly and most common saying is, anak puta, which is, son of a witch. But anyway.
That's for me.
Now that's extremely rare. It's extremely rare that I really hear that. And here's the hierarchy of things, okay? Whenever my dad says, for example, anak pating, which means the son of the shark, these are three levels. That when he says son of a shark, it's a positive thing. Like, for example, anak pating, why'd you make that kite so heavy? It's not gonna fly, son. It's more of a
George putting like 8 keys on there.
right,
And
correct.
a gold chain.
Right. It's more of a what's the word? It's usually now I wouldn't say happy. It's more of a humorous, more of a more whimsical statement. Like he says that after something he finds, funny. Whenever he says anak pateng, it's usually something funny. So that's why it's always stuck to me. It's like, huh. Now there's anak baka. Anak baka. Which anak baka is somewhat, that's where it goes neutral. Which means it can be positive, it can be negative, but not necessarily depending on the viewer. For example, like, anak baka, we had another flat. Or, son of a cow, we had another flat. Which again it's negative, but it's kind of like, depending on the situation. Now, and then the last one, of course, is, the son of a witch. You guys know what I'm referring to. Now, when my dad says son of a witch, then yeah, that he never says that in any positive way or meaning. Usually he's really ticked, pissed, that kind of deal. So, what I'm saying is, again, those are his three sayings. The third one being common, and you guys have heard of it. And again, so if for those of you who heard "son of a cow" or "son of a shark," let me know. Because honestly, I've never met anybody in my entire life in any country, in any nationality, in any language, I've heard this saying at all. I believe my dad invented it. And again, whenever he says "anak pateng" or "son of a shark," he usually means it in a positive light. And again, um, I'm pretty sure he's up there in heaven laughing at me like, dang, son, you know me more than anybody. But you guys get the picture. Yeah. And again, thank you guys. Love you all. Love you, Dad.
My dad invented the wooden paddles they had at school, and he's the one that drilled the holes in them. He said, drill them holes so the air flows through when they hit it.
Okay.
And it's probably true because he had he had the whole workbench thing and the saw cutter and everything.
Heidi's dad is an inventor, and I don't know if she's serious about that, if she made that up, or if his dad told me the story. Now, the reality is that Heidi's dad did invent stuff. Now, here's the problem, okay? I'm going to tell you right now. As an inventor in the U.S., it doesn't matter where you're at. Whenever you go, you guys don't have to listen to me. You just go look in history. But I know for a fact Heidi's dad got skewed, got scammed, whatever you call it. The reality is, first off, you have to check, like, your first check. Does this invention benefit mankind? If yes, don't patent it. If no, move on. Okay. The reason being, if it benefits mankind, odds are your invention will never meet the light of day, and odds are you'll disappear. I'm not even talking about conspiracy theories here. It's a reality. 2. All right. Let's say, will it benefit mankind? Not really. Okay. Then you move to the next step. Okay. Is it profitable? If yes, and then if the answer is yes, And if the answer is no, then obviously I'm not going to give you any more advice. But if your next answer would be yes, get a freaking lawyer. Okay, that's the end of that part. The reason being is because now I'm talking about Heidi's dad again. Since we're talking about my dad, it's only fair we talk about Heidi's dad, and this is a real thing. And I believe Heidi's dad, and I'm not.
It happened.
The problem is when you're an inventor. For those inventors out there, this is a fact, and this is not conspiracy theory. When and guys, remember, I actually have a friend, or used to have a friend that used to work in the patent office. So I have an inside source. But anyway, so let's say, for example, a mug, okay, that Heidi invented a mug that keeps the without electricity keeps the coffee hot at all times. Okay, so it's like a never-ending thermos kind of deal. And then Heidi goes to the patent office without a lawyer. Okay, I'm just giving you an example. So when they get his patent office, they'll be like, okay, so they do the patent, right? Okay, so you got the patent, right? And then you have the patent. And then let's say, let's come up with a fake name because I don't want to get sued here. Let's say, brother, art thou company approaches Heidi. Heidi, we'll give you. How about we give you, 10 grand to buy your patent? And you're like, Heidi would be like, that's too low or whatever, or and it's a world changing invention. I know it's a world changing invention. Yeah, but you'll get royalties, you get residuals, yada yada yada. How they screw you over is they have you sign that contract, and they give you a high percentage on the royalties and residuals, but they will never ever release the product up until the end of the contract date. That's how they do you. So let's say the contract's good for 2050, they'll release the product at 2051. That's how it works. But anyway, I'm just letting you guys know again. No, the reason why I say this is because Heidi's dad invented something, which I believe him. I believe him, and Heidi believes him too.
No, I was there when he actually
what I'm saying is
made it,
that
and they
don't
weren't
mention
out.
it because again, it's a. But point being is, I believe that they got that patent, had him sign for it, and then after that,
Especially back then in the
yeah, shelve it,
80s. Yeah, it's
and
not
then
like
release
now.
it. And well, even now, they still. This is a reoccurring trick that big companies do.
Yeah, no, I get that part
Yeah,
of it.
yeah. So again, this is a real thing. This is
And
serious.
people,
Again,
I believe, file patents online
Yeah.
for the same items. They just change it a little
and
bit. So
and for
then
those
with
that,
the internet,
right,
they can see it and then they copy it right away.
yeah,
Back then, you'd have had to been in our neighborhood to even know
Correct.
about it. So
and just real quick again, just so you guys know, there's nothing on this earth that hasn't been invented yet, unless it's new technology, aka new technology, that involves like Tesla cars or something like that. What I'm saying is, if you're thinking of a simple invention like a special paperclip or anything like that, it's been invented. It's just never been released or popularized. Most of the time, new inventions are just revamped versions of old ones. And then again, I'm not being. I mean, think about it. You really think nobody's ever thought of like a cup that clips on the dashboard? No, it's there. It's kind of Rule 34. For those of you, Rule 34. I'm just saying, it's the same thing with patterns.
all right, so let's get into the story here.
Yes.
This, all right, guys. So today, what? I don't know.
Now my eyes are kind of blurry. I don't know why.
Yeah, all those, I already put them up. They just got held based on, I don't know why, but they're here. So we have a story that's out there, and it's going to pose a question to people about supporting Filipinos or supporting Filipino families. Would you actually do it? And I don't know how to actually start this because there was a poll done by Richie Rich, I believe, abroad, where he discussed, would you support the family and whatever. And I'll go through that poll later. But basically, there is a gentleman that is being sued, an expat here, being sued by the Filipino family based on going to that expensive buffet in Manila. Didn't they say it was like 2,200 US they were left with the bill or something? Because what it is there was 17, something like that, plus him. The drinks alone, okay, because they have like an unlimited champagne at 100 US dollars. We talked about bougie the other day. I'm going to probably talk about bougie later too, because I was going on about how Filipinos are spending money, how, what do they call that? Champagne taste with a pizza face or whatever, that situation. But basically, he took him to that $100 buffet, which, by the way, I would have checked that at the door. So, but in the end, as I'm to understand, he walked out or something or left him or something with the bill. I guess he didn't realize. I mean, it'd probably be kind of like me. Even if I walked into this hotel, it looks nice, but there are a lot of nice places in other countries. So I'd have figured, okay, $20, $30, maybe. But I don't know exactly where he freaked out, but he just walked out and didn't pay the bill. So now the Philippine, bringing 17 people is another situation because you could
Well,
go out.
to my understanding, he left when he saw the bill. To my understanding.
Yeah, so I said he probably, yeah. So it's I don't, as I'm to understand that he allegedly didn't even know these people were coming. So you can invite just your girlfriend, somebody you've been dating a short period of time, and then the whole freaking family shows up. And it's just not part of the time. It is within, would you say it's within the culture that it's something where they
Okay.
bring family along?
Well,
So that's the posed question today. Are you responsible financially for the family? Are you responsible to pay everything? Because I've seen where people have money and they'll still show up and want the expats to pay or other Filipinos to pay or asking for things to be bought. And so that's going to be
well,
the topic today.
yeah. And again, for those of you, again, don't be quick to judge. But again, this is not an isolated incident. This is an ongoing thing. I've heard of these things since I was a little kid. So, however, why don't you show them the restaurant without showing them the restaurant?
Well, yeah, I see.
That way, some of
Well,
you
go
guys
ahead and talk. I'll do that later.
Well, yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, that way, again, this is not a real. For example, again, personally, I didn't experience this with experiences. For example, when I was dating in high school, yes, high school. You guys ever heard of chaperones? Chaperones. So, one point in time, I took a girl out, and I get it, Jolly. I'm not sure if it was Jollibee or McDonald's, or it was Burger King. I believe it was McDonald's. I believe it was McDonald's. So
Yeah, like real quick, here somebody considered $15 expensive in the Philippines. But if you think about that, I guess that's a day's, for the average.
For an expat, some of you guys probably, of course, once you haven't converted yet, yes.
No,
it's
it says here, it says an expensive buffet, and it's $15, which converts out to about 750, 800 pesos. But that's more than a day's wages per person. So, but no, this one was more than 100 and something, and then the drink. So basically, it was almost 200 and something. Probably they add gratuity. It's probably why it came up to 2,100 if you think about it. The champagne and drinks that are unlimited, you add 125 on. And then you add in gratuity for
honestly,
those places.
With or without gratuity, it's still too much.
Well, no, I got that.
Yeah, that's no excuse. Again,
bougie.
For example, again, like I took this girl out to, I believe it was McDonald's. Okay, and there was only one McDonald's and one Jollibee's during that era here in Angel City or Mabalacat. Period. The end. If you want to go to McDonald's or Jollibee, you have to go to Manila. What I'm saying is, back then it was a big deal. Like, there was no other McDonald's or Jollibee in the entire region of Pampanga. You had to leave Pampanga to find another one. So anyway, I took her there, right? Now, with her came along with four cousins. Four cousins. Four. Count them. Four. 1, 2, 3, 4. Four cousins went with her. So, of course, okay, again, no details or anything because, it's no big deal. It's just whatever. But the thing is do some Filipinos take, sometimes their friends or, they take their plus ones or they take their family with them on dates or whatever? Yes, the answer is yes. It's not a big deal. It happens, no big deal. However, now this is a big however, and that's why I wanted Heidi to show the
I'm working on it.
right to show where
Yeah,
it's
that must,
happened because just to give a precedence
Yeah,
on
now I can't find it. It must have came up on Facebook.
on what I'm saying, just to show a precedence of what's going on. Let me go back into the comments real quick and then we'll get back into it because trust me, it does
Wow, no, it's not coming
it
up.
does place to everything in the end. Sarah Tyson says, "Hey, hello, Heidi and George. Hello, roomies. Hey, Sarah, how you doing?" MB says, "Hello, Philippine Squad." Raymond says, "Good morning, everyone. It's a beautiful day in the Philippines, watching NFL, but pausing for the stream." Oh, thank you.
Now I can't find it. So I was going to do that.
NFL Sunday Night Football. Huh. Okay. Happy Sunday, Fanatics. Thank you so much. Luca says, "Happy Manic." The Bengals. It's just another manic Monday.
George, for some reason, I'm not having any luck today. It's
Okay,
been really off.
it's okay. I'm sure you'll find it. Happy Manic Monday, Heidi and George. Thank you, Luca. Like a Spot says, "Did you all see the blood moon eclipse?" Honestly, we didn't because one, it was in where we're at. It's at midnight, and Onstad didn't want to go out there at midnight. Didn't feel like it. Neither did Heidi. It happens twice a year. I've seen it several times in my lifetime. Have you seen it? How many times have you seen the blood moon?
It comes twice a year, so that's why I decided not
No,
to
I know. Have you
watch
seen it
it,
though?
So
You know, it happens in the U.S. too.
yeah,
Yeah, so I'm saying, I mean, I don't know how many times Heidi's seen it, but I've seen it a few times. So it's kind of like one of those, no, don't get me wrong, it's still a rare astronomical event, but I'm just saying that I've seen enough of it that I'm like, meh, you know. Hope everyone's safe and well. Raymond, thank you so much, Raymond. Chosen One says, "I'm harassing Mike in his chat. I'm drunk." I love everybody. Everybody can get it. Yes, of course. We all love you too, Chosen. Yes.
okay. All right. So okay.
Anyway,
I mean, I'm telling you, I didn't find it. I just put it in again. Didn't find
Harry
it.
Walsh
So
says, "Hello, Heidi and George, and all fanatics." Raymond says, "Sorry for your loss, George."
it's inside of a hotel. All I know is it's 100 and something for the buffet and 100 something for the drinks. Now that I'm putting it in, it's not coming up. That's what I'm trying to tell you. It's here, but I mean, I'm putting everything in that was on there, and it's still not coming up. It's just not. I don't understand. It's coming up with something different every time. But
Raymond says, "Sorry for your loss, George. Unfortunately, I know what that feels like." Sorry for that too, Raymond. And it happens, and it's reality of life, unfortunately. Adam Zah says, my condolences, George. Thank you so much, Adam Zah. Thank you. Ted Dankin says, oh, I'm so sorry. Thank you, Ted. Appreciate you, man. Thanks, Ted. Luca says, oh, I'm so sorry for your loss, George. Condolences to your family. Thank you, Luca. I appreciate you. And some of my family do watch the stream, and I'm pretty sure they do appreciate your condolences. Thank you. Kay Dallas, thank you. Sorry for your loss. Thank you, Kay Dallas. Like a spot says, deepest condolences, George. May you cherish his memories in love, life, and happiness. Yes, of course, of course. I remember he used to, of course, pick me up at school, And no, I mean,
Incredible.
no, I mean, my dad again. He's he never faltered as far as like being as a dad. He's always been there. He's always provided for the family. He's a great provider. For example, again, like when I was a kid, I was asking for a family computer. Nintendo, as some of you call it. He says, "No, screw that." He says, "I'll get you a computer," and he got me a computer.
There it is.
Yeah.
The Spiral Softel Philippine Plaza in Manila. It says that the alcoholic beverages, they're charging 100, and then that's per person. They just give them whatever during the buffet time, and then it's 5,400 pesos to 6,800 depending on the package that they choose for. Yeah, it's called the Spiral. But let me see if I can find the.
Yeah. So what he did is instead of providing a video game machine, he provided a computer, which is more educational. Now I get it. So I mean, okay. Sorry for the ones who got a Commodore 64. The reason why I say that is because he got us an Apple. Remember Apple, Bill Gates. He got an Apple IIe instead of a Commodore 64. And for those of you wondering, well, Commodore 64 is more based for video gaming than actual learning. Apple II is more based for learning, less than video gaming. So what I'm saying is, if you bought an Apple IIe for a video game, it's not as good as a Commodore 64. But if you bought a Commodore 64 for education, it's less of a computer for education. It's better for a video game. My point being is my dad was always more geared towards education. And that's the kind of dad he is. Oh, I thought you were going to show it.
I'm just waiting for you.
Yeah.
I'm kind of.
Is that a video?
Yeah, I mean, it's just. They're just repeating the.
Yeah, it's more of now, when you get to a restaurant like this, you're looking at, they have like a international theme, meaning, for example, if you want, like, for example, bratwurst, they'll have it. If you want ribs, they'll have it. If you want lechon, they'll have it. You know what I'm saying? They have different type of delicacies from the world over. Well, the main delicacies that they're known for.
I don't know
If that
about no
makes any sense.
$100.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
mean,
see,
because
like
they have a.
fondue, yeah, that kind of stuff. So for example, for Italian, what would they have for Italian delicacies? It would be like pizza, and they would have like spaghetti, that kind of stuff, and of course Filipino.
Right, but
it would be
having
like
a
lechon,
flash mob at $100 a person in Manila is a little extensive. But if he walked into this place, he probably should have known it was going to cost. But it's hard saying if he even had an ideal. So,
Well, that's what I was getting at. That's the thing. Does it happen? And again, I emphasize this again, guys. This is more of a warning to expats. Again, this happens more than not.
Right. And a lot of times I'll hear the guys in Dumagetti or here that'll say, yeah, I was just supposed to go out with her and she brought 3 sisters, a few friends, and her brother. And then they'll tell them, oh, what's the culture? They're supposed to be here on the first date, or they're supposed
Well,
to
like I
be
said,
here,
it
or
happens. That's why I
bringing
just said
them.
it. Now, out of all the girls I dated, how many times has this happened? Once. But point being is, if it happened to me once, of course, there's a good chance it will happen to somebody else once. But all you need it for it to happen is once.
Yeah, so I can see where the bill is extreme, but he's actually being sued based on a couple thousand US dollars. Yeah, 17 people would actually add up pretty quick in a joint like this. So the question to be posed is, Richie Rich Abroad watches us. He comes in the
Yeah.
live stream on the
Thank you.
occasion.
The
So
next one would be
because we remembered, we watch his channel, and he did a poll 4 or 5 days ago, and it said, would you support your Filipina partner's entire family? And I said, well, let's read that off to people because this comes up so often. It's one of the biggest top 5 things that you'll hear expats say, am I responsible? Should I? Everybody comes, their cousins, cousins. Second and third cousins will come and ask for money. Do I pay for their hospital bills? Do I do this? Would you support your Filipina partner's entire family? The answers he gave was yes, it's part of the culture. Only in emergencies. No, it's not my responsibility. And yes, but with clear boundaries. So if you guys will answer for those in the room, if each one of you will answer, how do you feel, if you were here in the Philippines? Is it kind of like what somebody said about the guilt tipping? Like, you're a lot of times I feel that I'm giving way more out of, oh my God, they're poor, or I have, X amount more than possibly 60% of the country. What was it, pity tipping? So is it more of a guilt or pity situation? Do you do it with clear boundaries? I found even if you set boundaries down here in Asia or whatever, they're just going to keep doing it. It just seems to be
and more reason why you should.
right. No, it's not my responsibility. Only in emergencies, or yes, it's part of the culture. And I'll tell you the one that came up with the highest percentage here in a little bit. So
No, you probably should mention it because
I was going to let people answer.
oh yeah, okay, guys answer because again,
Yeah. So leave comments on that. Where are you at on the?
Oh, right after Ted.
Whoop, whoop, it's Monday. It was in Manila. I see somebody. And yes, George took his medicine. We've just been crying, and it's been really stressful. It's something I did not expect.
I mean, I took my
I've
medicine.
been crying like a bitch.
Ted, no,
I'm just kidding.
keep going up. Yes, it's right where Ted is, right there.
Yeah. I put them up on the screen when we were. Sarah liked the intro. Yeah, that was written for his dad this morning. That's why I spared getting any videos of the restaurant. But it's definitely a bougie place. There was the other one that I seen that's really expensive. It's the one that I wanted to go to the hotel, but that one too. I think the 5 or 6 course meal was how much? 200 and something. But you get the drinks and everything included. And I thought we would set that for Valentine's Day or something and just start putting money away. But even if we took the trip to Manila and we took the car like we usually do, we do a hotel and did that, we would still need like 800 US dollars just to do that night at that hotel, and it's
the point is, don't be stupid.
Right? I'm going to buy $800 worth of pizza.
Okay, what I'm saying is, okay, there's nothing in that
or
restaurant
a new computer. Yeah,
or you can't get that's probably better. That's like not even a quarter of the cost.
You can do a lot with that kind of money, but that's just me.
Yeah, I mean, for that price, I'm just saying, for that price, you can like bar find a girl, take her out,
buy a laptop, get some pizza, some chicken wings, bring another one home to cook and clean.
I'm not even joking. Yes.
new AC in the car, probably some rims and all of that.
I mean,
It's
you can
kind
buy
of
a
like,
laptop here for like 20,000 pesos.
yeah. So the
So technically, yes.
insanity is you are going to. I was telling George and talking to you guys on the last live stream I was on that, you know, it just seems like a big percentage are spending more and more and more and more money. I'm telling you, the internet has destroyed the basic Filipino here. I'm telling you, they see everybody else with
I wouldn't
stuff.
say
They're buying tons of
destroyed
clothes.
it.
They've
What I'm
it's
saying
destroying
is,
the whole culture, even in
I
America
think
too.
it's festering it. What I'm saying is, did this type of behavior exist before? Yes,
I think a lot of them are
but
vlogging. They're going there to vlog it
it's
too.
making it worse.
Hmm.
It's spreading the disease. That's what I was getting at.
Yeah.
What I'm saying is, if one diseased person gets a hold of another, it makes the other person diseased too, and they'll do the same thing. Now the problem is you have like it. Here's why I hate TikTok. I don't hate TikTok as TikTok. I hate TikTok as the users. What I'm saying is, for example, remember the Tide challenge or whatever dumb challenge TikTok comes up with.
Hmm.
It's not TikTok's fault. It's not. It's whoever posted damn crap that could endanger children's lives, because most of the ones that follow this behavior are children.
Hmm.
And guess what? Children up to like 4 years old are on TikTok. And
Well, you see them younger and younger. The parents
yes,
got them
and they
dancing. They're
see
working them.
this and they remember, and they will do it when they're adults.
George had a good idea. We have multiple channels, and we're seriously thinking about doing like exposing the whole culture of all the social media. Like the other day, I mean, this was your idea. We seen like 6 videos in one day where Filipinos are finding babies in rice fields or in a ditch. So it kind of gives an ideal of, no, I got you. Okay, never mind. I'm not, okay, I'll just stop, George. All right, so never mind. I'll be, anyways, so let's see where I go from here. So let's go back to the restaurant situation and the I'm off. You lost me, so I get it. We'll discuss it later. So we're talking about opening a new channel based on this crap. So okay, all right. So let's go. Yeah. It was in Manila. So in Manila. Wow. We have to throw that away. They destroyed a third pad, and the item is pushed underneath there, and so they've destroyed it.
Well,
And they're making a mess.
you can go upstairs.
Yeah, but it's just going to fall on the floor and then be no good up there. So they got a new toy, and
They love it so much that they're trying to not their fault, and it's not intentional. What it is they swat at it and stuff like that. And then they take it out, they take it apart, and then it drags, and then they start clawing at whatever's nearby. Yeah.
Chose one. I never compare my wages to Filipino wages. It's not fair. Only Western. I don't know if you mean only Western people say it. Nobody's comparing wages except for what money I lose here I can't replace by getting a job. And the amount of money, there's all kinds of different things going on here. I know they're living above their means. I know the costs are going up. I know that it does somewhat make a difference, because if you say it one way, they'll just go against it on another by saying, well, you make way more money than us, you should be paying. You get skin taxed, and then it's not really a comparison.
Okay.
It's just there's a big gap in the whole thing. And I've been to a lot of countries, and I'll keep repeating it. It's only in the Philippines that I have felt that there's this much of a difference. When we were in Mexico, some of that stuff was mellow, and when I was in the Middle East, there wasn't like these prices being charged out the ying for certain things where the next person was only making X amount per day. So actually, some of it does come into play as far as being an expat here. So.
Well, now my takeaway is in Chosen One's statement is the fact that he didn't say anything about the current subject. Meaning, what I'm saying is he didn't say, "Oh well, this girl did this to me. This girl did this to me." I'm talking about the ones that they took like a chaperone or a bunch of their friends or a bunch of their family along with a date with him. Because I mean, okay, for those who don't know who Chosen One is been here in the Philippines for a while. He's lived amongst the people for a while. He's dated a lot of Filipino women, and I mean, so what I'm getting at is the fact that this has never happened to Chosen One at all, because otherwise, if he did, he would have mentioned it right then and there. So what I'm saying is, one again, is if a Filipina that brings in anybody, keyword anybody, with them. I mean, it's one thing if they bring in their best friend, one person. That's Does that happen? Yes. Again, 4 people, fine. Yes. Does that happen? Yes. More than that, does it happen? Yes, it does. But the fact that Chosen One as an expat never said, "Oh yeah, this one time, that one time that band camp, you get my picture." That he never said any girl has done this to him. It tells you the fact that when this happened to me when I was a teenager, to me it was a red flag. I'm like, wait, what? I'm going out with you, but yet I'm taking your cousins with me.
Yeah, but
To me, it was a red flag, but not because of the age. I get it, but we're adults here.
You think it's happening more so to expats versus do Filipino men deal with that if she keeps bringing them around all the time, brings them to the mall, because that happens a lot where they also arrive at the mall,
right?
That's and the expats are paying for stuff.
That's why I didn't want to get into until probably just about now is about the right time to answer these questions. Now, first off, if it's a Filipino, answer is well, hell no, screw that.
Yeah, Philippine Prepping said the buffet at Okada's is $4,088. So yeah, that's about $84, 83 give or take.
Yeah,
so
no, the Filipino, a Filipino will not put up with this crap at all.
Yeah, so
ever.
17 times. Let's just say it's 80. So that would have been $1,300 if that family would have showed up at the Okada, but he should have.
Before we go further, because unfortunately we will go further, if a Filipino will not put up with this crap, what makes you think it's okay for you to put up with it?
The guilt thing, the pity thing. They feel sorry. They're wanting some nookie. They think they're getting some polishing done later.
A lot of
your
you
mind
guys,
went somewhere else.
I'm talking to the guys here because most of the time this happens to the guys, much less the girls. I mean, I'm not discounting the girls or female expats. I'm saying again, this usually happens to male expats, but it does happen to, I assume, female expats. Okay. Now, some of you male expats out there who are simps, okay.
Simping isn't easy.
Some of you are like, well, Filipino doesn't afford that. Well, first off, you motherfucker, you haven't been here, have you? The reason why I say that, you know what? Guess what? You go to a freaking nice restaurant, you go to a freaking, go at a stoplight, that nice ass car next to you, the odds are it's a fucking Filipino, you loser. You know what I'm saying? You go to a nice ass restaurant like Heidi showed, I guarantee you, even in that footage, you will be lucky if you find an expat.
Well, that's what we were discussing, which will come up in this live stream today, is I did talk about since you've returned and since you've been here, and in the last 5 years, we've noticed how people like America, are living way beyond their means. And there's no way they're giving out jobs to keep up with this. They're actually, in my opinion, living basically an American life, some of them. They're
No,
living
they are.
Western.
They are. I
Tons of
even tell Heidi, I
clothes,
said,
brand new
the only,
cars, making
yeah,
payments.
no.
And we're not talking
The
about
only
they're the one
conclusion I told
percenter.
Heidi, and my exact words are, my only conclusion I can come up with is Filipinos are rich. I'm not, my exact words, Heidi will not argue with it. Those are my exact words.
Yeah, because it's just not a little bit, because there are the 1% and 2%ers here that are really, like they call the Nepo babies, and the ones
No,
that are
okay,
on
well,
jets and all that. We're talking, they are just living where, and we're not talking about fake Nikes. We're talking the real deal. The amount of the items, like I'll go in there and they had a Billie Eilish perfume, and that shit's like $200, and they've literally sold that, like in the Philippines. They've sold several thousand. I'm like, who the hell is buying
no,
$200
no.
perfumes? It's just,
No, big
and we're not
giant
talking about
concerts here
one
get
thing
sold out, and they're sold at
at
U.S.
U.S.
prices.
Yes. So it's still, I get there's a percentage that are making money. Initially, a couple years ago, people were like, well, no, this is OFW money. This is them sending the money, and I'm like, I understand people are making more money overseas, but not like that. They're sending, even if they're sending $2,000 a month. I'm gonna tell you, the $2,000 a month that we spend, we can't afford car payments. We couldn't go into eating out like that all the time, and the movies and the malls all the time, and like our street is full of new cars, and some of these people have 2 new cars out there, and I'm like, and a motorcycle. So it just kind of blows your mind.
Okay, like for example,
But in saying
I'm
that,
not gonna mention what their job is, but they just have a brand new freaking car, and we're like, okay, I don't even know how this is possible. We see you guys every day. You're at home every day,
and that's another thing.
I know you guys have a home business and all, but it can't be making that much money.
Yeah, literally home all day.
Yeah,
with 4 vehicles for 2 people. So it's just like and I know you guys are like, okay, well, this is just ragging, and this is just, I'm trying to understand the fact that I know that a lot of times that the Filipinos are wanting the expats to pay, or they just arrive and expect somebody to pay. When we were at the restaurant, the coffee shop we usually go to, it's not, the things in there are $5 here, $6 here, $8 here, and it's not exactly a cheap place to be in. So even if they just go in and get a 300 peso
like
coffee,
for example,
that's a quarter of their wages a
Right.
day for some and most.
Right. For example, like me and Heidi went out there for $26, right? US dollars. In the US or in the West, Australia or London, to you guys, it's not a big. Oh, it's only $26. That's a steal, right? But guess what? Here, okay, go ahead.
Well, yeah. I mean, for do you get the feeling that when we spend that kind of money, even though we have savings and a monthly income, I still get that feeling inside that if it all disappears tomorrow, it'd be hard to start replacing and buying at the cost they're charging here in the Philippines. Getting a job, which people will probably say that about the US. It would take $40 an hour to live in Tampa. It would take this amount to live whatever,
Yeah,
but you can still get jobs. Correct. Here it would be hard. So, and people are really starting to charge out the yin. It's some of the items really blow my mind. So it's I just don't know how they do it, including like, the vet offices are literally starting to become US prices. We have
Forget
that
vet
pet
offices.
shelters.
What about your groomer there?
I think the groomer, he would have been $60 in the US. So I still think it is, but they added on extra services this past time. I told people that the last time, but no, it's some things. And I'm like, well, wait a minute. Most of that is just labor. And I get they deserve to be paid. But if their fellow people are only making, let's give them 2,000 pesos a day. You're charging 2,000 to draw blood for an animal. Same price as you'll find where you can draw blood for a person, but what was it we were talking about the other day that was astronomical? Oh, they're offering shingles vaccines here now at Watson's, and another one I forgot, the flu. They want 200 to 300 US. They're somewhere between 800 and 15,000 pesos for vaccines.
That sounds great. I mean, 15 15,000 to get
10,000 for the shingle shots.
10,000 to get my
US.
shingles replaced. That's great. I don't have to worry about like a storm or anything.
You fish eye fool. They talk about shingles like a rash.
Oh.
The old man disease where you get the rash and stuff. The rash thing. But still, to me, it's charging a Filipino that needs it to not be sick, or an older person, which is usually who gets the flu vaccine, to charge more than their rent for a vaccine. That's when I get all stifled and stifled and piffled and bitching, because it's so I know we're kind of off on that, but that's where I'm at on the
vaccination.
But I didn't feel that in the Middle East. I didn't feel that in Europe. I didn't feel that in Mexico and Canada. When we had dental work, it had been $10 in Mexico. If we went to a doctor, it was $10. So what I'm saying is, here, depending on the place you could go to, is it cheap? Yes, but they're still charging 3-4 times more than Mexico.
Now, just real quick, guys. Again, I'm not. This has nothing to do with the current administration in the U.S. Nothing to do with the current administration in the U.S. Because I'm just make a statement that a lot of people might construe.
Here, 1 second.
Price of vaccines.
I'm gonna jump up. Yeah, I'm gonna jump up and go to the bathroom. And grab some coffee if you need. Yeah.
All right. Now, again, nothing to do with the current administration in the U.S. The reason why I put that president in, because a lot of people might think I'm talking about that. No, it has nothing to do with that. The thing about vaccinations and medicine and whatever, now we're talking about big pharma. Okay. Big pharma, that also includes whether it's big pharma for animals. The price of vaccines and medicine, I hate to say this, usually the prices come from the U.S. So therefore, if you're in any other country, if you compare the prices, odds are it's very close to U.S. prices. The reason being, the ones that sets the price is the U.S. Okay. So, for example, certain drugs in the U.S., again, some only takes $3 to manufacture, but they sell it to the public for from $80 to $300, depending on how much it's needed. Again, this is not a conspiracy theory, guys. It's facts. Again, you guys can do all your research if you want. And don't trust Google, because Google lies and AI lies. So screw that. But anyway, point being is, these are facts. Facts are most of the prices on vaccinations, because Heidi brought that up, and on medicine is based on big pharma in the U.S. Nothing to do with the current administration, just to clarify. Okay, so that's why the prices here that Heidi mentioned, somehow they're very close to U.S. prices. That's because they have to come from it's kind of like gas prices. Same thing. Most gas prices is fictitious. Again, if you had your foot in any form of gas industry, they'll be like, well, there's a basic cost, but yeah, there's a big markup. Correct. It's gas prices are somewhat, we'll give it at this price, that kind of deal. Again, nothing to do with current administration. It's point being is, it doesn't mean that a product costs 10 cents to manufacture, that across the board it only costs 15 cents to purchase. That's not how it works. It never has been, never will be. But when it comes to medicine, whether it's from animals or anything like that, or humans, that's a very big giant markup. That profit margin has a big fluctuation. Yes, I'm okay apparently.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. So, all right. So now, reeling back into the story. Now, I didn't want to get, yeah. Sorry. Go ahead.
The cat.
I'll read that. I saw the moon. It was 2 a.m. when I went outside. Cool.
Yeah, they were talking about the blood moon.
Yeah, the blood moon. Yeah.
The
For those of you who've never seen the blood moon. For those of you who haven't seen it, it's the. You guys ever watch The Howling? It's when the moon is really big, oddly enough, and then it's not necessarily blood red, but it's reddish. That's the best way to describe it. Condolences, sir. Thank you. I came late. Didn't know George just lost his dad. Thank you.
Hey, Curtis.
Thank you so much, Joe. Curtis, sorry for your loss. Thank you, Curtis. Now, back to this story.
Yeah.
So again, like I said, do Filipinos? I can't speak for any other nationality or anything. Again, I'm just talking about Filipinos because this is a Filipino channel. Do Filipino women, bring either their best friends, their cousins? Those are common ones. Best friend, cousin, and family. Okay, to their dates. Some of them do. Some of them do. If they bring in their best friend, don't think too much of it. It's no big deal. And if you can afford it, why not? It's no big deal. If
right.
One extra person, it's not gonna break you. Okay. If it's gonna break you, then you probably shouldn't be dating. I mean, I'm just saying.
And real quick, what's his name just said that the restaurant closed. This is already where they're suing him. So yes, we're aware that it closed. This story is not from recent. So in other words, it didn't happen this week.
Right.
So. But yeah, I think they closed sometime last year.
Yeah. So
it's an ongoing thing right now.
Right. So like I said, if your Filipino brings in their best friend, don't think nothing of it. That doesn't mean nothing. And again, if you can't afford an extra person, then you probably shouldn't be dating at all. Honestly. Next, again, if they bring in 4 people, that's a different story. Or if they bring in their full family, that's a different story. Okay. Now, when I say 4 people or the rest of their family or even the best friend, by default, in Filipino culture, they pay for their own crap. They pay for their own meals, whether it's the best friend, whether it's 4 people, or whether it's the whole family. If on your date she brings in any of those, they're supposed to pay for their own. That's the culture. Screw whatever your girlfriend tells you or whatever. Oh, it's part of our culture. No, it's not, you motherfucker. Again,
right.
Even Filipinos will say, no, it's not. I never invited them. You invited them.
Right.
They pay for their own shit. Again, like I said earlier, don't confuse me when I say, if she brings in her best friend, if you can afford it, go ahead. No big deal. Again, if you can't afford another girl, or because it better be a girl.
17 people's a little ridiculous.
What I'm saying is,
village.
if your girlfriend brings in a girlfriend, yeah, pay for it. It's no big deal if you can afford it. If you can't afford her, then obviously you shouldn't be in a relationship. But what I'm saying is, if she brings in a male friend, I don't care if they're gay or not, you're not paying for that shit. You're a simp if you do. Because one, you don't even know if that guy is a boyfriend.
I just want to let you know, George made me pay for my shit when we were over there across the street the other day. And I said, well, then pay for yours.
Right.
Because your steak costs more money.
What I'm saying is, I don't care if they're gay or not. They may not be gay. They could be pretending to be gay. And he could be tapping that ass. You know
yeah, he could have been, yeah.
No, this is a thing. This is a real thing. I'm serious.
Yeah, with the relationships.
Yes.
Yeah, the other person's not a cousin, not a friend. It's
correct. So
husband,
the only time I would
girlfriend.
say pay for her best friend.
And more commonly, yes, could be her girlfriend with her.
Well, that's possible too, but then that's a little harder to determine. But anyway.
How are you determining if it's 2 males? When he bends over and something falls out his butt? I mean, what's really going on? I mean, how are you determining?
Well, okay. Now,
okay.
No, 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 no. I'm not. If you're homosexual, nothing wrong with this. Point being is, if you are homosexual, whether you're of the male or female type,
Okay.
if it's the same sex, I'm pretty sure you have a good radar on that one.
Okay, so you're just saying as okay, I get what you're saying. All
Because
right.
yeah,
Yeah. Okay. So
no, there's nothing wrong with what I'm saying, and any guy or girl will agree with me. Yeah, I know. You know, I have a good radar of that kind of stuff. But anyway,
that's already like the Nobu and Malibu 1 to 200%. No, things are really adding up in cost. We were going to go to a movie. If you go to the movies, there's still the tickets. Two of them could be around 1,000 pesos. You get some snacks, so you could still be out $40 in the Philippines just for dropping in a movie. Then you're like, okay, well, you're used to paying something. It could cost you 80 or 100 in the U.S.
at
But
least
the point is the infrastructure settings, quality, a lot of different things just don't match the cost anymore, or versus the. But I'm still stuck on the family and the lawsuit and everything. The fact that I don't know.
all right.
Maybe they didn't know the cost of that
All right.
amount when they got there, when they had to pay.
No. Well, first off, like I said,
I want to know who paid the bill when they all left.
they
Unless
did.
they did dishes
They did.
forever.
Well, okay, that's what I was getting at.
The family.
Well, no, that dishes thing, of course, everybody knows that's something. First off, the lawsuit, it's against the expat. And the reason why it's being against expat, because again, this was I was actually getting at, and Heidi just mentioned it, oddly enough. It's against the expat because in odds are the ones who paid the bill, whether they're coerced or forced or promissory notes, I don't know. Odds are the ones that are forced to pay the bill is the Filipina and her family. Okay, and so basically they had to pay for it, and then once they paid for it, they sued the expat. Now they're suing the expat for the cost of the meal, which okay, some of you may or may agree with that. I don't know. Again, that's up to you guys. Let us know on the chat or in the comments if you agree or disagree. Now, again, this is I hate to say this. This happens more than not. It really
Y'all
does.
ain't commenting enough. Comment, because my boy is talking.
No. So what I'm saying is, this is a real thing, and it's kind of, I just find it funny, and I find it funny because it still exists to this day. It's like, really? Are you serious? To this day, this crap still exists. And this happens to expats a lot because I remember now it's just now that it came to me that an expat did message us, not message, emailed us. Sorry, emailed us and says, "Oh, my my girlfriend's family did this to me. Is this normal?" No, it's not. It's not. Now I remember. Now I remember somebody did email us about this situation. Different story entirely, but no, it's not. It's not right. That is not the culture. That is not Filipino culture. I don't care what they tell you. If they tell you it's our culture, they're lying. They're scammers. Okay. And that's another thing. In all probability, I wasn't there personally to know what happened in this particular story. In all probability, is when this family come
it's
in.
like ongoing right now.
Yeah, they started, ordering stuff. I'm pretty sure the expat was thinking to himself, well, you know what? We're having a great time, yada, yada, yada. And then when they gave the bill, they gave it to him, and he's like, hell no, I'm paying this bill. What I'm saying is, any Western mind would think that they're paying for their shit. I'm paying for mine and my girlfriend. You know what I'm saying?
It's just kind of like this.
No, I'm pretty sure that's when he got up and left at the end. There's no amount of, bell and sucking would pay for that bill. I'm just saying.
Shake your head no. Oh, hell no. And the bitch probably walked out on him and shit.
No. I mean,
Dishes?
yeah,
Gonna go in the
them.
back. Oh.
I mean, honestly, if this happens to you guys, again, it could be, whether you're male or female. Point being, if this ever happened to you, I would pay for your bill. I would cut in the head. I would say, hey, you know what? This is a mistake. This is what I would do.
Yeah, I'm gonna give a recap here in a minute.
Yeah, this is what I would do. Okay, I would take that check. They call it a check here. I would take that check or bill. I would walk up to the register, because there's usually a register in a restaurant. I don't care how up to date it is. And then I would be like, there's a mistake. I'm only paying for me and her. The rest, they're paying for their own. And then I would pay for it.
Which is another thing. Make it clear. Yeah. Make it clear, because, sorry guys, when we do, and people say we're cheap or something, we try to make it clear on meetups with people, hey, we're paying for your lunch.
Who's paying for who? Who's paying for what?
Because some places we've been to with others have been inexpensive, some have been more expensive, or right away they'll say, we never assume when our people say, I'm taking you out to lunch, that they mean they're going to pay the bill, because in the end, we've been known to pay our own bill anyways, just because we always bring cash. So if we expect it to be Candy Palace and it could be a 5,000 peso bill, because it can get up there in price, we bring that much cash because we don't trust credit cards working. There could be power outage, there could be other things that would cause it. So we always bring cash, blah, blah. So anyways, in a nutshell, always set up how you're going to from the beginning. Because one time at Candy Palace, like when we had that one meet and greet at Candy Palace, we made very clear that the people that are here for the meet and greet, we're not paying everybody's bills unless, like, we had people at our personal table. So we got a few people some drinks, we got some mango shakes, and we said, hey, that's on our bill. You got to be very clear about that, because people will join in on your bill, and the next thing you know, you got an outrageous bill. So it's a situation you want to make clear, especially if you don't expect the entire family to show up. You've got to we tell the waitresses right from the beginning, and then bitches add that. It's like, listen, I don't want that one and that one and that one. I'm not paying for them or something.
Tell them from the get-go, and if not, again, before, what I'm saying is what this guy did. Honestly, the proper way to handle this is, again, get that ticket, go to the register, pay for, again, whether she pissed you off or not, pay for her meal, and then tell the servers, hey, I only came here with my date. I'm paying for me and her. That's it. That's up to them how they pay for their crap, and pay for your bill, and then walk out.
Now, I want to let you know, for those of you getting your panties in a bunch, this is not every Filipino, okay? This isn't every Filipina. There are ones, even if they're from a lower income or whatever, they prearrange and they pay their bills. They'll pay for family members. But probably around half the time, you're going to find that they do expect it. There are the good, the bad, and the ugly.
Well,
for sure.
The thing is, that's
just like the expats.
Okay, that's another thing.
So whose fault is it? Should the expat have been the one, guys, or should it have been the Filipina that arranged that? Real quick on the recap before you go. For those that have joined, basically we're talking about, first off, George's dad passed away. He just passed away in the last, 48 hours? Probably been about that. So anyways.
It's not even.
Okay, so.
Oh, yeah, it is Monday today.
Just
so yes.
about.
Yes,
and so we're dealing with that, but also, as a recap, there was, and again, this is ongoing, so it had been like last year, it just came up again recently, that there was a guy who took his Filipina out. They arrived at this ridiculously expensive place, and what was the amount? 2,300?
34 hours ago.
And it was... he was the bill, he's being sued now. So I'm trying to figure, the family probably would have known it was an expensive place. He probably should have known, But now it's in court.
Well, he
and
knows, but he didn't expect.
Either
He
way,
didn't expect a mom.
it became a lawsuit. So then comes in, are you responsible to pay? Is it the expat's fault? Was it the Filipinos' fault? That should have been arranged. Should the family, should they be suing the expat for, what we don't know is who invited who did what. So there's going to be differences in that. Also, earlier we had discussed that we watched Richie Rich Abroad, and about 4 or 5 days ago, he put up which was weird. I was like, didn't he just do a poll? So, because we just got this story this morning from somebody. Would you support your Filipino partner's entire family? Yes, only in emergencies. No, I'm not responsible for her. Or yes, be clear with the boundaries, though. Right now, 60% said, no, my responsibilities are only to her herself. Another 25% said, yes, but I would set the boundaries. And then another, only an emergency, would be 12%, but 3%, which I would probably call full simps, said they would, just outright, no matter what. And the problem is it's kind of like the deal we got going on with the trash guy again. He showed up 3 times yesterday looking for another payment. It's only been 8-9 days. So I told George, if we keep giving him the money every time he arrives, or just keep giving him money in advance, he's just going to keep coming. So it's kind of like the same with the family. If you start paying for little things, the next thing you know, hey, so-and-so needs a backpack, so-and-so needs this, and then it could just become on running. But the consensus is, no, you're not responsible for the family. So it kind of comes around to when the families show up for these dates or these situations of at the mall, and they're doing lunch and buying clothes, and it's like, hey, do you mind, so and so needs, you're inside of the bookstore and getting supplies for somebody's kid, and next thing you know, you're just out, and in your mind it's like, oh, it's not a big deal, that's only 700 pesos here, 1,000 pesos, oh, it's only 3,000, and it seems it'll just add up really quick. So that's what we're
Yeah.
at.
Now, real quick again. Now, just because this is somewhat relevant.
Yeah, hey, Joe said no, I wouldn't support.
This is irrelevant. I mean, not relevant. This is relevant. Now, as far as the poor is concerned in the U.S., keyword U.S. Again, I can't mention any other country other than the U.S. and the Philippines. As far as the poor in the U.S., from what I've observed and experienced, usually the poorer the community is, the more they support each other, they help each other out, that kind of stuff. They ask, hey, what do you need? Hey, I have this. Can you use it? Oh yeah, I have this. Can you use this? That kind of thing. Oh, it's kind of sad, but most of the time I find more community in the poor people in the U.S.
Right.
The reason why I brought this up because Heidi mentioned the poor here in the Philippines. Now,
Or how about one of my friends, when we were helping with a bunch of little things, then they were asking for money on the side, and then it's like you go and help with 1 or 2 projects, and then next thing you know, they're asking for more money. They were asking for, well, there's several of them that did it since we've been here. So we thought we were helping.
Yeah, but that's different.
Yeah, but they asked for more and more and more.
That's different though.
Okay.
We're talking about okay.
We're talking about multiple things now at this point.
I know, but I don't want to confuse the subjects.
Okay,
That's
so
a different
then-
story. What I'm saying is, okay, this has nothing. What I'm saying, this has nothing to do with that. Has nothing to do with the subject. As in, it. What I'm saying is, don't say or don't allow your partner to say, "Oh, we're from the lower caste, as it were, and this is normal." That's what I'm getting at. Don't let them tell you that, because the poor people here. I'm not talking about the disrespectable people here. That's a different story, because those are scammers, which we're dealing with right now in the story. And that's what I was getting at. Those are disrespectful people. Don't mention the other people that you've experienced, because those, to me, are people I will not trust ever again.
Okay.
That's what I was getting at. What I'm getting at, respectable poor people here, and anybody who's been from a poorer caste will agree to me. I'm talking about here in the Philippines now. Again, I'm telling you what was in the U.S.
I was just trying to get to the point that it doesn't matter this and that. Them other people would still be
I know
considered disrespectful if
I-
they keep asking for stuff.
I know
And it
that,
could
but
be a family member. It still means
that's
they're
not what I'm talking about.
disrespecting. Well,
That's what I'm
that's what I'm
getting at.
talking about.
That's what I'm trying to build up here is the poor people here who are respectable. Okay, That's why I just said, don't let your partner tell you, "Oh, we're poor. This is how it's done." No, that's not how it's done. Poor people in the Philippines that are honorable, this is how it's done. They go to, let's say this exact same instance. Obviously, the odds are they wouldn't go to this super expensive restaurant. First off, because they know better. But if let's say you go to, let's say you go to, I wouldn't say McDonald's or even McDonald's. Even let's say McDonald's. You go to McDonald's and everybody orders their food and whatever, or before they order their food actually, because usually before they order their food, what they do is they gather up, they sit on the table and they gather up and then they say, okay, what are we doing here? And then, okay, magkano bakas mo? Magkano bakas mo? Magkano bakas mo? No, really, this is the thing. Bakas, which means how much are you going to contribute? This is a thing from the poorer communities. Magkano bakas mo? Or there could be a different word depending on their. Here in Pampanga, they say bakas. I don't know where in any other, in other language there is. It could mean a lot. So most of them say, "How much are you going to contribute?" And everybody pulls out their, "Well, I can give this, I can give this, I can give that," and then they pull up all their money, and then somebody counts it like, okay. With this, we can get these drinks, this food, this food. Are you guys okay? And then they're like, yeah,
Do
that's
that
okay.
now.
Correct. So that's what I'm saying. That's what a legitimate, you know, that's what I'm saying is these are not scammers. These are, so what I'm saying is if you get these people, they'll go to, let's say they did follow and you start seeing them do that in front of you with your girlfriend because they'll be talking to each other and then they'll be swapping out money and one of them will be counting it. That means those are honorable people because they're trying to figure out, okay, how much are they going to eat, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Then they're not there to scam you.
Yeah. So I get that.
That's what I was trying to get at.
But you will get other channels and other people that will say it is ingrained in their culture. They just want people to pay for them. So I just want to let you know that it is out there, that they're
in the culture.
naturally
It is ingrained.
just expecting it to be paid.
It is ingrained in the scammers culture. Do not get fooled. The ones that tell you it is ingrained are either scammers or the scammed. They're just too dumb or too pussy whipped
or making content
or scam or sitting in their mom's basement in the U.S., which unfortunately I see this a lot lately.
Yeah, right. Several of them.
Yeah, and no, fact. This is fact. I've seen this, and I'm like, you don't know shit. You're not even here. But anyway.
Yeah.
No. This is a real thing again. Now, again, the proper way. First off, for those expats who are wondering,
and
for those of you who are wondering, if you get sued, what's your opinion? The end product is?
I bet they make the expat pay in the end.
No, they will not. No judge in their right mind will say yes, and no Filipino in their right mind will say yes. Okay. Now, here's the thing. If they did turn the judge's head around and say yes, that's highly unlikely because in order for that to happen, they had money. And in order for them to have money...
If they paid that bill, they had money.
Thank you. That kind of contradicts everything. So therefore, in all probability, no.
It says if it's mom and dad, elderly, disabled, grandparents, would I let my own starve? The answer is no. For others, it's truly life and death emergency. But for Most maybe helps start a business. Oh, when we discussed the would you, contribute if it was the family. So that's their answer. That's kind of our theory these days, is that, and it's been for a while, if it is a kid, an elderly person, and somebody that can't really do anything, then we do. But usually we buy the food. Like the other day, I covered a story based on that the vlogger covered another vlogger and said that he was just making content based on asking a guy to lead him to a haircut place. When he led him to the haircut place, the guy was clearly homeless or out there. He said he would buy him food. That would probably be the right thing to do. And then he handed him off 500 pesos. Instead of stopping and buying him the food like we would have, then the guy took the 500 pesos and ran off. Then he did an entire video based on, hey, I got robbed in the Philippines. The guy didn't bring my money back. It was not the guy's intention to do it. Like that was the content that just came up. That's just what he labeled the video afterwards. But the deal is that he probably should have stopped and got him the food or had change. You don't ask a person in America, Canada, Europe to say, hey, here's 20 bucks. Can you go get me change? You more than rolling the dice. It's just kind of out there. So the deal is you wouldn't do that here. We feed the people, but we have had people at our gate walk away when we won't hand them money, try to give them food, snack, and coffee. They will walk away. Sarah had sent us some stuff that we make, like a little coffee bar here. We got an ice machine and all of that. And we'll make drinks for like the drivers. We did the boba tea for a while. That got awful sugary really quick. But for a while we were drinking it a lot, and then we were fixing drinks for people. But I stopped. When I first moved in here, I got hit every time. I still get hit when I go outside. People ask for stuff. I've just now learned to say no. You cannot come to my door and keep asking. We literally have a political figure right up, like, not even a half a block, not even a quarter block. And this morning there were like 10 people out there. I don't know why. There must be something up and coming, but they were all out there. And I got the stares, and sometimes I'll stare back, but not for too long. So, but only if we see that they're elderly, we will get them food out and about. It is not a good idea. The same with the family. A lot of emergencies can come up though. And ridiculously, I somewhat disagree with George about their scamming situation, because things can come up in the family and then another family member, something can legitly happen. There's got to be some people out there that are thinking the same things. Shit happens. Shit happens in my family. But the moment you start digging into your savings and everything, that's what kills the expats' budgets. Okay, you really want to pay grandma's bill. Then you've got an uncle.
What don't you agree with?
That it's not always a scamming deal. There really could be legit things inside of good families that you may need to contribute to, or your wife may ask you to.
Yeah, but usually that's stated ahead of time, like one of the viewers said. Like, hey, by the way, we're going through this and it's serious.
But it can happen down the road when they're married and stuff.
I understand that, but again, the person would still say, hey, we're going through this. That's different.
I understand putting those things out, but it could be multiple things.
What I'm saying
you
is
may
this
feel
guy,
you want to pay for it.
This guy, they hit him upside the head.
Okay, I get that. We're talking about different subjects within that. It can also be the other side. You just can't give out all your money either, is what I'm adding.
Well, it doesn't matter what the situation is. If you can't, you can't. That's right. What I'm saying. Like I always tell Heidi, for example, the cats. Okay? The cats. We have a definite limit on how much cats we can save. Because guess what? We don't have infinite money. The same thing with you guys. You guys don't have infinite money. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. You can't save every Filipino you meet.
Sarah says rapid fire ads. Yeah, it's getting worse by the moment. Yeah, no, and the pay has YouTube. Went down.
Yeah, it's YouTube.
In the last 2 years, they're playing more and more videos like ads. And they're paying about 25% of what they used to. We had and it's not much more than we're actually making now, but it's gone in half. And now so in other words, we have more views and we're getting half the money. So it's really crazy.
In fact, we watched Naked Gun last night. You know, Liam Neeson. So we watched Naked Gun, and
It's really a good movie.
He was watching the security footage. Spoiler alert. He was watching the security footage. You know, the videotape footage, and then there's ads on the videotape footage. It's hilarious.
Yeah, the only thing I disagree in the movie was the snowman scene. I thought that needed to be cut out.
There's a snowman scene. We think it was kind of out of place. For those of you who haven't watched it, you'll see what we mean. Yeah. For those of you who watch it, let us know if you agree. But anyway, yeah.
Yeah. Did he know they were coming? Is where to understand the answer is no.
The answer is no, because the thing is, whenever...
But that's when I would have walked out or something. Usually, I'd have said, let's go to Jolly
Yeah, see, that's the thing. Usually when it's a scam, they don't let you know. If it's not a scam, they usually let you know at least somewhat ahead of time. Even though it could be like a 10-minute, 5-minute warning, they still let you know somewhat ahead of time.
Okay, here's the thing I'm going to disagree and I'll probably get you wound up. I don't know. I mean, I'm still thinking it's not ingrained in the culture, but maybe they just got used to it. I don't know much as
used
like,
to
hey,
what?
we're going
used to what?
We're going to go scam this guy today.
To what? That's my point. Used to what? No. What?
It's an expat. He's got more money, so I mean,
which is still a scamming mentality. Because
I just think
here's the thing.
I'm white privileged. Just let them pay for it. That's not a scam.
And here's your benchmark.
Okay, is that a scam? If somebody said Heidi looks rich, let them pay for it.
Here's your benchmark. If this is something that you experience or will experience, whatever country you're at, then I would say it probably isn't a scam. But I don't know any country that does that.
I think people, and we'll just bring it to America, would know their friends have more money or a family member has more money.
Yeah, and they pay for their shit.
Not always.
Well,
they
point being
expect their grandparents to pay.
Point being, grandparents, yeah, that's family, and that's grandparents. But what I'm saying is,
I'm just giving leeway that there's
Filipinos
a chance they just
themselves.
expected it. Do you guys think he expected it, or do you feel it's a scam?
Well, point being is Filipinos themselves. From the Filipino side, they think this is wrong, and that's not how it should be.
Well, I agree that it's wrong. I'm just giving the other side of the coin. It might have been expected.
Yeah, the scammer side, which again, the only ones that would say yes are the ones that have been scammed and are just too proud to admit it, are simps, or again, the scammers.
Yeah. My scammer / daughter has a few times scammed me out of a group meal, but always was a major occasion. Yeah, her college that's sarcasm there. Her college graduation, goodbye. There was, it said 20 people were invited. Oh, I think so. I think you're talking about Giselle. It said that, her husband first came. Yeah, she pulled up with the entire family. They all went from the airport to the restaurant. Yeah. And then you feel the need to pay. But I'm trying to figure, was everybody in that van a scammer? You know what I mean? That's what I mean. They're assuming that the expat's rich.
Okay. They may not be scammers, but they're people who take advantage of other people.
Okay, we just agree
it's
with taking advantage.
What the difference between a scammer and somebody taking advantage of another person is really no difference. No, really. Analyze it. The difference between a scammer and somebody who takes advantage with no regard whatsoever, there is no difference.
Here's the thing that I notice here slightly in Mexico. People open up in the United States, too. There's a lot of chismis in here. A lot of people talking and talking. Somehow, Like that, how about that couple that was ex-nate out in the province, and it was everybody in the family knew everything about that expat because the wife was telling her sister, the sister told the son,
Well,
and it went on and on. How come? Because
and
usually it's the spouse or the next person.
usually the expat is leading with his wallet.
That's another thing. Yes, I've got 3 pensions, and that's how they initially reel them in. So it's multiple reasons.
That's why whenever I meet an expat and all they do is brag at me how much money they're getting in, I'm like, yeah, okay. And trust me, any
Hey, Laura.
any person you've met on the West will agree with me. Like, yeah, okay.
Yeah, Robert. Heidi just likes to confuse me. It's Sunday, not Monday night. So it is Monday. This live stream. I'm not saying you. We still have people that do not believe we're in the Philippines.
In the Philippines, it's Monday. We're in the future.
We're in the Philippines. I get it, but no, we still have people that leave comments like, "Oh, you guys aren't even in there because you're always doing just live streams on a couch." And it's like, dude, that's not true.
If I rip this off, it's Philippine yellow. So, whatever.
Yeah.
We don't have to prove nothing, honestly.
But no, I get it. When we first started doing live streams a couple years ago, we were like, there's no reason we just don't mention, because the percentage of Americans that are watching or that are in another is less than probably 60%, 50% in other countries, and it changes.
The fact that we're consistent, that we're a day ahead of you guys, the fact that we're consistent on that tells you that we are in the Philippines.
Yeah. Well, there are people that pretend to be in the Philippines. They come here for 2
like
weeks
I said,
and they
a lot
never come
of
back,
us
and they'll
live
say,
in
"Oh,
Mom's
here I am in
basement,"
Manila.
and they're in the U.S. I'm like,
So, but we're not saying that's what
don't
you're
know shit.
saying. I get the confusion part. I just thought I'd throw it out there that it's really odd how people come here for 1 week and then give advice for years about living in the Philippines, and then they bitch about us giving advice, and we're actually here. So it's definitely hard to let go, but at times you just have to enjoy the time, because that is why we worked and saved. Yeah, but you don't have to spend your money. We came here with money, we spent it, we gave it back to some, family members. We've done a lot of different things, but it doesn't mean you have to just throw it away. These are people like you, as I'm to understand, you do investing, you have the proper money, you have all these, different things going on. Sure, if you have it, spend it, but most people don't. That's still a 1 or 2%.
Oh yeah, look, this is Filipino money randomly laying around. Now that I think about it.
Right?
It's Filipino money. Why would we have random Filipino money laying around?
Why would we have chickens and dogs barking in the background and vendors you guys can hear?
Is there Greenwich in the U.S.? Honestly, I don't know. We just got Greenwich, pizza wings.
Yeah,
I mean, chicken wings. Sorry, chicken wings. So anyway, whatever. But
so no, some do, and I understand, and that's what a lot of people will say. They will actually say, well, why? Here's Heidi and them because they're broke and they're bitching. We definitely never denied that we are not living with a large amount of money ourselves, but it's no reason to hide either. And the other part of it is even if we did have the money, we still can't see that either. That is the mentality of people who have lost their fortunes here. Now, when I say fortunes, they come with a couple $100,000. Next thing you know, you're paying for this. Next thing you know, you bought them a cash car. Cars still cost car money here. It doesn't get any cheaper when you buy electronics or when you, medical bills add up.
More than the West.
Medical bills can wipe out $500,000. It doesn't take long to go through that type of money. So it's, I get it. And so for me, that's a rich people statement to actually say you work and invested to spend money like that doesn't mean
Incorrect. I disagree with that. The reason why I say that, again, you guys can, some of you will disagree with me. Hashtag cancel George. I've met a lot of really rich people. I'm talking about freaking millionaires.
Mm-hmm.
And I hung out with millionaires, and I've hung out with a lot of really affluent people. Guess what? They never talk about that shit. They could care less because they know.
And they're even cheaper.
Correct.
It's like the Canadian guy.
They never say, "Oh, I this, I that,
using
I
coupons
this, I
and
that." No.
For...
Most of the time, most of the richest and most powerful people I know, in fact, they're so humble. I didn't even realize that how much money they have up until I followed them to their house, or up until my friends tell me, do you know who you're hanging out with, right? Or that
That
kind of
is
stuff. Or hey George, I'm gonna ride you in my my Shelby Cobra. The up until those instances that I've met these people hit, and I was like, holy shit, this guy's fucking loaded. But what I'm saying is, most rich people, affluent people, people who are actually of real power, don't say shit on how, oh, I this, I that. No, they don't. They don't.
well,
That's why I just said earlier, whenever I meet someone that says, oh, I have this much money. You know what? I'm like, whatever. I met really more powerful people than you have, and
okay.
they don't brag.
Right, not as much as bragging as just spending the money. It doesn't mean you have to spend it.
That's another thing. Most of the time, they don't spend it either.
Right, that's what he was making a
And
statement.
yeah, and they
Yeah.
have a lot of money.
Yeah. Like I said, it's not just expats, but even the Filipino overseas workers, the seafarers coming home gets ambushed by relatives. Same thing, loans, free meals, everything. And it's true. That was that movie that I just seen recently with what's her name? That favorite movie. Remember, she came home and she got ambushed by her family. As a matter of fact, at some point, she found out that the house that was to be built didn't get built. So and so didn't go to college. And nothing got invested on the money.
No.
They just spent it on they're buying purses and clothes and living above their means. That's what I'm finding here is there's even less jobs here. People living way above their means are taking tons of loans. And people are like, oh, that goes on in America. Yes and no. It's at a different level when there's no jobs and you're literally relying on somebody that works 60-hour week that's sending you money and there are 9 people in a house living on that money, but they're using that money to buy, silly things, and it's just, yeah.
Yeah, now this is a thing. Now be aware though, even though this is a thing and this is reality, be aware that most of you guys are not Filipino. However, the however part is for the Filipinos. What I'm saying is, if you're an expat, a foreign expat, then none of this stuff applies to you. If that makes any sense.
Yeah. I heard that vet assistance Cavite 16,000 pesos. That's very well possible. But it's funny, they'll charge 16,000 pesos if we put our cat. Okay, we had the vet come here. We bought the antibiotics and did all of that. If we would have went in the office and that, because he talked about having him brought into the office, the cat that just passed away that had the flu, and he had the upper respiratory thing. If we had let him hold on to him, we could have been out 30,000, 40,000 pesos just in a couple of days of them running IVs and fluids. And I'm like, it's still high. So I get it, but yeah, that's what they pay. Now here's the thing. Same with the US. I gotta say that they're only paying their people X amount. But at least that vet can afford, or the assistant can afford to put their cat in there for a few days. Here is actually kind of off on that. So, yeah, they do the chicken pox. Yeah, if you had the chicken pox, you'll get the shingles. It's dormant, and anything can trigger. Yeah, it's mostly in men, but yes, I can't believe they're charging $200 for those vaccines. So it's kind of up there. No, there's a lot of guys that get it, and honestly, that's something we probably should do. I don't know if that's yearly, or I'd have to look that up. It's something he probably should start doing. I know Brian had it. Philly in the Philippine had it many years ago, and he really went through the ring. My grandfather did too. So, yeah, give them up the vaccine. Good morning, Vlogging Life. Good morning. Yeah, leave your comments. Be sure to do a thumbs up. If you're not subscribed, subscribe. Shout out where you guys are. And we appreciate everybody being in here today. And thank you for being our people. And I'll be going to George's funeral later myself.
Wait, what?
So yeah, somebody said you fell down the stairs at about 3:45 p.m.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks.
And then
PM. That hasn't happened yet.
We're in the future. What did she say? I'm making up stories for, how did she say that about making up true stories from a fictitious life or something? Or I forgot in that movie. It was hilarious. That's a good movie. My mother's fought shingles and cancer. Yeah. Oh, wow.
Huh?
Yeah.
That's rough.
Yeah.
That's a very painful
Yeah.
condition. Yeah.
I could imagine having shingles, and like with the lupus, sometimes my skin feels like pins and needles. And when I get out in the sun and I'm medicine, it breaks my skin out. And then it's like I got shingles already,
It's
and I
really
break out in
itchy and
hives,
stuff.
and could not imagine. Yeah, it's and I'm wondering about some of that. Me and George discussed that. If she showed up with more than one person, then I'm calling off the date. Yeah, I understand she's shy, but yeah, so one friend, but I'm not feeling
Well,
her
like I
entire
said,
family.
one is very acceptable in my personal opinion. Yeah, like I said, if you can't afford a plus one, then you can't afford having a relationship at all.
Sometimes it's the principle of the thing. You know
No,
what I
I
mean?
get it.
Like,
I get it.
and that's for us. I want to let you guys know we're broke, but not broke. I do not want to pay more. Like when we got overcharged for last month's whatever, it's the principle. Like the water bill or some of these other things. Sometimes it's the principle over just saying, well, it's because they broke, so they just don't want to pay and they didn't plan and they just bitching. And it's like, screw that shit. I don't want to goddamn pay. And then you kind of get that where like no way situation. It's just a, I don't want to have to. Just like the vaccine. I really considered the flu vaccine. I'm like, screw that shit. I'll sit here, wait for it, and
Well,
just pass on.
like I said,
I'll be
again,
planning my own
put the
funeral at that point.
situation in the
10,000
U.S.
pesos?
or wherever country you're living in, and if this is
Stand on
okay,
them principles or
then if it's
something.
okay in the U.S. or wherever you're at, then obviously it's okay here.
It's my
What I'm
time, my
saying is
time.
that's on you. That's what I was getting at.
Yeah, so so even if it is the one person, I would still be like, but that's just a woman being moody and emotional, which is true. Be like, oh hell no, I'm paying. That would be like me doing it, and then my guy showing up with his brother or what he said is his brother, like George said, may not be his brother, and they're just sitting there like, oh, she'll pay, and it's
Well,
like, oh hell no.
for instance, like
Which one of y'all doing my dishes?
let's say in all the dates I've gone out in the U.S. For example,
Which is a lot.
if any of yeah, yes, no,
My man is a
no,
slut,
but
slut in
what
a
I'm
hut,
saying is
in a hut.
in
Hey, that rhymes.
if I calculate it, if any of them by any chance, by any means, brought in a plus one, brought in their best friend, I wouldn't hesitate. I would be like, I'd probably be taken aback for a split second, and then be like, oh, okay, whatever. And then everything would go smooth sailing from there. What I'm saying is, because again, I know I can afford the second person, but
Yeah.
again, if in my opinion, again, if I can't afford taking out, for example, Heidi and her best friend,
Yeah, but it's no reason either.
then
So, principle.
no, I get the principle, but
There are two type of people in the world. There's going to be George. It's going to be like, that's okay. If I can't afford it, then okay. I got the money in the bank. Just let me do it. Precinct. There's going to be like
yeah.
me. I'm be like, oh hell
But
no.
what I'm
You
saying
know what I mean?
is, let's say you and your entire family showed up, even though I can afford it, I'm be like, hell no.
Well, yeah. There's your break. You have your breaking point. You have your
I'm
breaking
saying
point.
if Heidi in our first date brought her entire family, can I afford it? Hell yeah, no problem. They can order whatever they want. I can afford it. But guess what? I'd be like, hell no, bye.
George.
Oh no, still not worth it.
You'd have paid,
No.
and you'd have put him on the back of the motorcycle and took the whole family with you because you're a good guy.
Yeah, yeah,
True.
with the rope and with the rope around their necks.
Dang, that went dark really quick.
I'll take them home too.
I'm telling you, he beats me when you guys aren't around. I'm telling you, he locks me on the
I
back porch.
beat Heidi with my meat stick.
His pork chop bone. Boom, 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 boom. He's a slut in a hut. He's a slut in a hut. He's an Asian slut in a hut. Hut, hut, hut. Oh, oh, oh. Okay, slut in a hut. What extra person isn't going to break most people? but bringing extra people is behaving like entitled, and that's not going to work for me. I kind of feel it's an entitlement thing. But they'll say I'm entitled
No,
based
and
on my
that's the
AC.
thing. I'm not a walking ATM. Thanks. No.
And yeah, not a walking
Correct.
ATM. So yeah, it's more of the principle thing. So what's his name saying, if I couldn't work through pleasures and everything I've done, if I can't afford to treat the people around me, what was my life worth? But usually those people that are already taking advantage of what's going on, pay for graduation, pay for this, go on vacation. But if that same, even the wife is having you go to Honolulu and then to Germany, and she's taking you on that expensive train, what is it in Japan that costs several $1000s or whatever to get on, then there's some taking advantage, even if she's your wife and she's just having you go all over the place situation and she's buying Gucci bags and do it. Okay, there's limits and shit. So I mean, it's even people in your own family can do it, but I can only imagine, as I'm to understand, he did not know those people were coming. He was just discussing, but I guess he really didn't think the cost. So maybe they were already there when he arrived. So I don't have the full story whether he came in and they were all just sitting in chairs and he just assumed coming straight through the doors and into the, hey, this guy's
It
kind of
doesn't
nice.
matter. Point being is
What's like going on?
they should not put that weight on him.
Yeah, it doesn't matter if you have money, and that's just it.
No, correct. That's not. No, I
And-
agree. It doesn't matter whether you have money or not.
Yeah, because you're going to get that in the Philippines. On a side note, I know for sure, based on me just being an expat in the house, there have been several things in the last year where people, even services in the house or out and about, we've been charged for. Like, we truly believe, like, officially the dog groomer started charging more that he'd never done. Same guys were arriving. They added extra services this last time. And the same with the guy who's been cleaning our AC. Another set of guys came, and instead of it being okay, first they told us once or twice a year to clean the unit, the AC unit. Then it went to 3 times a year. Okay, we bought the 3 times a year because it runs a lot, but never dirty enough, never changed nothing, and we maintenance it ourselves and clean it ourselves. Then this last time when they showed up, they said, no, we need to be there every 90 days. So now the same company, but usually it's the same men. It was a different set of men. They want us to clean every 3 months. And George was like, yeah, no. And one of the people that we know that work on AC said, yeah, that's way too much. 2 times, maybe 3 times a year, but twice a year should be more than enough.
The problem is,
But it's still,
like Heidi said, the guy says, this is the dirtiest AC we've ever cleaned.
he
I'm
did
like,
say that to me.
you liar. That is a lie. I know a lot of people who never, ever, ever had their ACs serviced at all. You know what I'm saying? And so, yeah, okay.
Yeah. No, so you're going to have it. We've used that same person to do the dogs. And this time we had them do both dogs, indoor and outdoor. And they did the glands and add something else and added another 500-600 pesos onto the bill. And I'm like, oh, hell no. And it's like, first off, it should have been in the deluxe service. You guys had a list of stuff that's supposed to have been done. Now you're charging for it separate. And it's just, I don't know. I'm telling you, if that would have been like I was here that day, George wasn't. I don't even know if they would have even done that to you.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
now, in all fairness, no, it's not mother ever. Love you, George. No, I mean, if you're a mother effer, you're a mother effer. I'm a mother effer. Heidi's a mother, and I effer, so I'm a mother effer.
You are a mother. You still alive? Dude.
Facts.
Poor George. Would you like you some chicken today? I'm going to get you your flavored chicken today and make you some more rice.
Oh, yeah, you want me to get the chicken soup upstairs?
What chicken soup?
Nothing.
Uh-oh, that's nasty. The chicken soup. Oh, did you flush the toilet upstairs? I know you've been peeing and pooping in there, and you said until it's yellow and mellow and you're not going to flush it and you're saving water. You said it was a 400 peso water bill, so did you flush that toilet?
If it's yellow, let it mellow. If it's brown, flush it down.
That's both, so you just let it sit around?
Okay, no.
When it's mixed?
We put in a chemical, and Heidi's just asking me if I just flush it down because we're cleaning the toilet upstairs, or I was cleaning the toilet upstairs, or whatever.
Well, that was to clear. We put pellets and stuff. Did you flush it though? It's to go out in the septic.
Not today, not yet. Yeah.
Probably ain't got no toilet upstairs right now. Probably ate all the way through the ceramic.
I highly doubt it, but okay.
It's possible. Might have ate the pipes up. I ate your pipes last night. You said take one for the family. I mean, take one
Right.
for the
There you
one
go.
for the team.
Right.
Yeah. Why should you just let people take advantage of the circumstance?
Never let anybody take advantage of you. Correct.
I kind of like to have this count three situation when the same thing happens from the same people. And it's kind of like we had that with the trash guy. Now we kind of need this trash guy because only so many trash guys go through here. But like I said, he keeps asking for advances. He keeps coming around and asking for money. And it's kind of like now he came, about 8 o'clock last night. And so either way, it's kind of like, it's like and now he's at the breaking point that I'm probably just going to throw my garbage across the street and start burning it. I'm just going to say, screw it. But it's just kind of, you don't want to be taken advantage of. You'll find your way around one way or another. Oh yeah, the Wagyu too. Yeah, vetting the Filipina is very important. Yeah. But here's the thing, over the years, if you vet the ones you're dating, but in the end, things could happen 5, 10 years down the road, or it's the best you can, yes. Or make it clear that, yeah, she probably should have asked them for sure. Hey, what's going on? Black Grandpa is in the house.
Hey, Black Grandpa, how you doing?
What is going on? Yeah, I have been, I don't know what ones are at the bottom. If you can see them, I'm still 50 minutes away. You might see some statements. I have been on a lot of dates here in the U.S., and I have never once did the woman I date bring her family and friends. Yeah, that I would find. Now, I do know culturally back in the 70s, 80s, in certain countries, they brought chaperones. That makes sense. If the woman truly, her at heart, is bringing her mother because it's a chaperone thing, but they're using them old things that are from a long time ago. So really, sometimes it's about the free meal at some point. It's because they would say in Vietnam or in Singapore or in China, there are cultural things. And I don't know how cultural it is that you're bringing 17 people would be ridiculous.
It's not.
But, I can see to some extent, but I would set the lines clear at the front door. Yeah. So.
Yeah, just real quick again, before it gets buried, or it may not get to it. Second Wind says this is somewhat important, and a lot of people don't address this. Second Wind says, speaking of trash, literally, he's talking about trash. George, do you have glass recycle here? My neighbors say no, but there has to be, right? Yes, there is. Okay. Now, depending where you're at, okay, glass recycles in the Philippines is in the form of, there's these guys go up and down the road that go, bote, bote. That's our glass recycle system. It's a person who picks up glass. Now, if you care about glass, you get all your glasswares that you're going to throw out, put them all in one box or whatever, and save it for that next time you hear that very distinct sound. And then you give it to them. And then that's their job. They take the glasswares and then they trade it in for cash on their end. I mean, that's our recycling. But now, if you live in a subdivision, okay, a lot of subdivision places don't tell you this. Some subdivisions pick up their own trash, and they don't tell you to separate the glass. Now, do you have to separate the glass? No. But does it help? Yes. The reason being is because if the subdivision picks up your trash and picks up the glassware too, in the end, those garbage men, they sort out, okay, not by choice, they have to do this. They sort out the cardboard, they sort out trash, and they sort out the glassware, kind of like the U.S. And they separate it in the truck. And guess what? Whatever cardboard they save and whatever glass they save, they don't get to turn it in. They do turn it in under the umbrella of the HOA of that particular subdivision in the Philippines. So they don't make money off the garbage men don't make money off of it. The HOA does. All they do is they sort it out at the dump truck that they have that they drive around with. So that's how it works. For those of you who don't aware, for those of you who say, "Oh no, we don't do that. They don't have to do that. They don't save the glass." Yes, they do.
Huh.
They just don't do it in front of your face because then it would look kind of weird. First off, and second off, but point being is the HOA that picks up your trash, they do sort it out and they do sell the recyclables. Just they don't do it again in front of your face on it, obviously. But,
Mark said, who said as Americans we have to adhere to Philippine culture? I kind of agree. Been saying that, been called a bitch
well,
about
that's the thing.
saying
It's
that.
not even
You
Philippine
really
culture.
don't. All right, but in general, you could just
Yeah.
be talking about in general, or
No, you
really
don't.
have
You
to
don't have to.
adjust or this. You have to respect
You have
some
to
of it.
respect it.
Like
Yes.
if they don't want you taking off your shoes and you're kind of like, well, screw that. I shouldn't have to do that. Now you just get full attitude. No, you do on certain things, but you don't have to go with certain things. You can step up on say, what you act. There are certain things you can't just actually say whatever. Now, if you have your house and you're just walking through it and it's your actual house on the shoe thing, then that's different. But I kind of agree. You don't have to adjust to the country's culture because a lot of people are like, yeah, you better learn the language and you better adjust to everything. You need to be more Philippine. And I disagree. Heidi's going to be who she's going to be. Like everybody arrives here,
Okay.
brings their issues, and I'm a human being. I'm going to passport wherever I want to, and I'm going to be where I'm at. It's goddamn Earth. I'm going to be where I'm going to be. I've already said all that. You can call it privilege, attitude, or whatever. But the situation is there are some things you have to understand if you're there, that's what's going to go on. Like most of the time, there's not AC going on here. Most of the restaurants don't have that. I get it's not culture, but I'm just talking about like adjusting all the way around to each environment you may have to do
All right.
too.
For example, here's a good example, and I'm not going to mention the family that.
You need coffee or I'm jumping for coffee. Go ahead.
Yeah.
I can't. If you want to go on, I can't.
All right. For example, okay. For example, this is for example, it's your house, okay? It's you in your Filipina's house, or you in your Filipino's house, whatever. And then you have a fridge, right? Let's say you have your marinated pork chops already set aside in the fridge, okay? Or even if they're not set aside, let's say it's your pork chops, and then your Filipino's family comes in the house, and then like they, la 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 la, and then they take your pork chops away.
You can keep talking.
No, go ahead.
Oh, why can't you? What's the?
Okay. All right.
You need to be on camera to talk.
It's not that. Okay. So let's say again, the family comes in and then they take your pork chops away and they leave with it. Okay. Is that right or wrong? I mean, honest question. You guys think that's right or wrong? I mean, now, if you're the expat, you bought those pork chops, you set them aside in your fridge, or they're just in your fridge. Okay. And your Filipino or Filipina's family comes in and then take them and leave with them. The answer is wrong. No, it's not right. It is never right. Okay? I don't care what your Filipina is or Filipino is, whatever the excuse they tell you. First off, your beef is with your Filipino or Filipina because they're the ones that allowed it. Okay? I don't care what they tell you. because they're the ones who has to translate it to them. Like, hey, you can't take those. Those are my husband's, or those are my wife's, or whatever your relationship is with your Philippine. Hey, that's my boyfriend's, or those are my girlfriends. Point being is the buck ends there with your Filipina. Now she can pass the buck on them, like, well, well, they took them, I didn't take them. Then you'd be like, well, in that case, you know what? They're not welcome here anymore. If they're that blatant that they don't respect,
Right. So you may hear, well, that's
then
Filipino culture.
no, it
That's the
is
way it
not
always
Filipino
goes. So get
culture.
over it. It's like, no,
That
I
is
don't have
not
to just like
Filipino
that. I'm
culture.
not gonna go broke giving out pork
Correct.
chops all day.
So that's what I'm saying. Now, there are some of them, again, that gave this expat flack. Oh, you this, you that, you didn't want to share your food. That has nothing to do with sharing
Yeah, I
food.
hear that a lot.
It's about the fact that there's boundaries. So you think Filipinos just walk into the next door neighbors and grab whatever they feel like at the fridge? No, that's not Filipino culture. That's never Filipino culture. I don't know any Filipino that goes to another Filipino's house and grabs shit from the fridge. No. If they told you that, that's an excuse. They're lying to you. They're lying to you. That's never culture. Ever. That's called stealing. Okay? If they did do that, if they did ask, hey, hey, can I have this? I'm meaning talking to your whoever. If they had permission, again, that all ends up again on the burden on the shoulders of your part Filipino or Filipino partner. But point being is, in the end, I hate to say this, the burden is again on your Filipino or Filipino partner. Because remember, those Filipinos won't be in your house if it wasn't for your Filipino or Filipino partner. Get it? They wouldn't be in there in the first place. No random Filipino is going to go through your doors and grab shit from your fridge if it wasn't for your Filipino partner or Filipino partner. So point being is, in the end, she's responsible for anybody she lets through the door. It's no different. You're responsible whoever you let through that door. Filipino or not, has nothing to do with that actually. It's whoever you let in. You're responsible for their behavior and actions unless they're just real assholes. But even then, you kick them out. But what I'm saying is, if somebody does that, you kick them out before they get to steal your shit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You're not gonna let them. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, it's okay. Take the TV. It's no big deal. Sorry. No, nobody does that. You're gonna kick them out of your house before they steal your TV. Same thing. It's no different when they steal your pork chop. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm getting at. Mm.
George wants chicken. Chicken.
You know what I'm saying? No, you don't have to. You don't have to adhere to it. No. And again, don't allow your Filipina or Filipino control you. You know what I'm saying? Don't.
Yeah.
You're better than that.
Magadan Umaga. Good morning, Victoria. Good morning, George and crew and Heidi.
Thank you so much, Robert Goodson. Thank you.
Yeah, it's very, very sad. It was a shock to me, but that would explain, when me and him had that, even when we had that last disagreement on air, you already knew something, but you just, like I was saying, he's been shutting down and he's been dealing with a lot of different things, his uncle and just different things. And then, of course, my crankiness of being in pain and all this other stuff. So, yeah, there was a lot on his shoulders. A lot of people reached out and said, yeah, George seems off. And I'm like, okay, I know there are things, but it was a big shock when he mentioned that. Although not discounting an age, once a parent gets to a certain age, we kind of knew within a few years something like that could happen. But it never prepares you. It never prepares you, even if they're on death watch for years. It's a shock. And we'll still be going through things for quite some time to understand that. So,
Yeah.
hey, Tony, what's going on? If I didn't invite them, I damn sure not paying for them. I would only pay for me and my date. Yeah,
No, that's
it should
fair.
have
That's
been
fair. Yes,
cleared.
that's
Yeah.
fair. Yes.
Mhm. So, yeah. The mixed brown white Filipinos, German Filipinos, American Filipinos, do they behave and get treated like expats or locals? George gets, are they
I
any
was born
different?
and raised here, and I get treated like an expat. So does that answer your
No,
question?
other Asians too. It's kind of weird for me because I guess somewhere in my mind I'm like, well, surely they're not. No, they'll still skin tax and treat them like
Yeah. No,
foreigners, and
you will be
whether they're
treated
black,
as
mixed, and there
an
are
expat.
flat out Filipinos that were born and raised in America that have Filipino descent, or the ones that have
Now
left like George,
that
and they
makes it
still.
worse. Now I know it's not the right word. Here they call them mestizas or mestizos. Mestizos or mestizos. Be aware, it's the Filipino translation doesn't translate to Spanish. Spanish usually that means they're of a lighter skin variety. Here, when they say mestizo or mestizo, they're just a mix. They're hybrid race, not necessarily
I
or
take it.
interracial race or however you say it. So when they say mestiza, mestizo, or like you say brown white or no, you're and if you're from a foreign country, you're classified automatically as an expat. So don't even. It's automatic. Who's that?
Well, they got her Halloween hat. She wears it really cute, but we'll wait till Halloween. It's a pumpkin. What's wrong? Huh?
Yeah, this is our half-blind cat. Um, yeah,
Yeah, the special one. She's special. You're really special.
she is, but she's a sweetheart. We used to call her Rabbit. Yeah.
Yeah, that's Tweety.
She's
Tweety
she's got
girl.
rabbit fur. Yeah.
The same guy who simps out and pays for the entire family is the same kind of simp that sends the woman money, yeah, and they have never met them, yeah, seen online, yeah. Well, this guy stood up and walked away, so, but like I said, I still feel he probably should have got that vibe. I mean, surely there was a menu. Did the guy just freak out in the end and see the bill? Because some people will go that
I'm
far.
pretty sure that's what they did. Is they give him the bill in the end? Because, but what I'm saying
Surely, yeah, there was
is,
pricing.
what
I'm
I'm
just
saying.
trying to figure out
Well,
how
that's what I
far it
was
went.
saying again. For you guys and girls out there, be aware that if this happens to you, if you bring out a date and then a bunch of people come in, pay attention to what they order. If they order the top tier shit, then odds are you're paying for it. You know what I'm saying? Unless these are well-to-do people. What I'm saying is, if they dress the part, meaning if they wear like suits and crap, and they order lobster dinners, then okay, these are probably the up tier Filipinos. But what I'm saying is, if they wear like kind of like low end shirts, or they all wear T-shirts and they order the lobster dinner, then something's up. I'm just saying. I mean, what I'm saying is, odds are, and they're buying champagne and crap like that, then yeah, odds obviously they intend somebody else to pay for it. So, just saying,
Yeah,
be, keep your head on a swivel, like we always say. Maybe,
maybe. Just bitch slap him.
right?
And then think about heaven later in an eternity.
Like God sort them out.
Uh-huh. Don't touch me, cat. Don't touch me today. Not today.
Victoria says, George family, Heidi, condolences to you all. Stay strong. Thank you so much, Victoria.
Hi, sweeties. Why do you keep touching me? See her? She keeps reaching
Yeah,
out
now,
and touching me. Hi, baby.
yeah, like a spot says, yeah, the poorer they are,
Oh, sorry.
yeah, it's right there. It's just the next one. The poorer they are, the more communal they are. It's a form of survival mechanism. No, this is true. But that's the thing. The poorer the people, the more they'll communicate with you. It's just,
Maybe.
well, if they don't, then again, I hate to say this, you bear down. Okay, that's another thing. Okay, remember when I said that if you're Filipino, who let them through the door?
What is your problem?
She's still the one who invited them to your dinner. She's still responsible for them regardless, because she's the one who invited them. You know what I'm
Now you
saying?
can't sit here.
So what I'm saying is, if she invited like a maniacal axe murderer to your dinner, guess who invited that maniacal that murderer to your dinner? She did. You know, point being is, I get it, it's not her, but she's still the one
I
that
don't know.
brought
I
them
still
over.
say some Filipinos, even if they are scammers, are really brave. They'll repeat the same behavior even after you.
I would
It's
say
boundaries.
brave.
There's boundary issues in the
Brave
Philippines.
is not the word we use.
Boundaries?
No, here we
Stupid?
call them makapal mukha,
Deserve to be punched in the nose?
thick face.
Oh, yeah. There it is. Like that.
Yeah, we call them thick.
Heidi just says what you guys are thinking. 'Cause I know
Yeah,
you
and
thought
I'm
it
not talking
several
about booty
times.
thick. No, thick face.
Hard-headed, you mean?
No. Another word for
No
thick
boundaries, thick
face
face.
is
Oh, hi, honey.
shameless. Thick face is another word for shameless. Makapal mukha. Ang kapal na mukha mo.
Oh, he
That's what they say.
should have let it be known who is paying. Yeah, she obviously did not care about him.
Correct.
But yeah, with
Correct.
his approval,
Thank you.
yeah.
Yes, absolutely correct.
It's not ingrained. It's just part of the skin tax thinking. Yeah, in a lot of countries, foreign countries do tend to charge
which skin
foreigners.
tax thinking is
It's
dishonorable. Correct.
with there it
No,
is.
I agree with you. Yes.
The next up and
Whipped
coming.
equals simp. There
Okay,
you go.
there you go.
Pussy.
The next up and coming
Pussy
song.
whipped equals simp.
Pussy
Sorry
whipped simp. Yeah. My guess is he will have to pay, and then he would have to sue them. Yeah,
Oh,
no,
no.
it's.
No.
I still think, yeah.
No, he did. I think he did the right thing, is to walk away.
Could only imagine the restaurant. Like, where's that white boy going?
Right.
Come
And
back,
like I said,
come back,
any
white
judge,
boy, come back.
any judge or any court system will agree that the expat was in his rights to leave. And again, if they overturn that judge over,
Pretty
that
much.
means these are people of power, which again goes against the fact that they did this. Oh, sorry. I'm so sorry. Before I forget, before we go deeper into the comments, there is another.
Yes. Rest in peace. I lost all them donuts. George ate them yesterday and this morning.
There is another side of the corn side of the
You got
coin
coin on
that
them,
I
right?
didn't cover, and I should have done it a lot earlier. Okay. Now, here's the thing. This particular story we're talking about, in all probability, this does not apply because of the restaurant. However, or it could be, but I highly doubt it. Most of the time, I would say 80% of the time, when a Filipina or Filipino takes their family on a date to go out with an expat and expect them to pay a bill, I would say 80% of the time, in all probability, the restaurant owner or manager is a family member. Okay? They're in on it, on the scam. And that's how most of these scams work. And this is where it turns into a scam. How is it a scam? Because that's when they start padding the bill. For example, they ordered one beer each, for example, but they put put 3 beers each on the bill, and then for example, they ordered, let's say, like a steak dinner, but they put a filet mignon dinner instead. You know what I'm saying? So what I'm saying is they'll pad the bill so that way the restaurant will make more money. This is also I would say 80% of the time this does occur. The restaurant itself is part of the scam. So you have to remember that too. So
I would have to agree with Mark because I keep hearing this and I've seen it. Now, fortunately, with George's family, they're very self-efficient. They're a different breed here. You do realize when you keep giving the people in the Philippines the money and support them, they will never work. And here's another thing. The new generation anyways are getting lazier. Just forget anybody under the age of 40. They're just entitled no matter what
No,
country.
no, this is a
Even
real
in
thing.
India, they're acting like that. Like, here
That's
I
a real
am
thing. They all just do
TikToking. I'm
TikTok,
gonna,
yeah.
even if it's 20 cents an hour, they're gonna keep doing it. But I do keep hearing that. There is the Billig buying boxes coming in. There's the OFW money coming in. It's what they can get off of these expats they're dating. It's now they've learned another way of getting money. Even in my opinion, the Filipinas that are sitting in front of the cameras with half their clothes on, which is close enough to fans only shit, they are still scamming, simping the guys, most of them. Like when George, I'll probably get the stare here in a second. Oh, am I? But the whole thing is I think that, yeah, the more people are contributing $50 at a time to them online or sending large amounts of money for little to no work, it's teaching all the way around in multiple countries. But here I'm seeing it on a different level. That's my opinion. So, it does. And then it's kind of, but it's not, I would still say it's not a cultural thing like some others said. It's an individual thing. I've just seen it more here. It
It's
could
really
be
not
because
a
of the
cultural
money.
thing.
I think it's the environment situation of there's just no jobs, a laziness factor. You know, I've seen it in the poorer cultures because I think the Filipinos lately, I've seen a ton more fights and you know, couples attacking each other and all these things going on. I think it's also because a lot of them aren't working and they're just sitting around watching TV, drinking. And I do notice the ones that are drinking, they're mean drunks. I'm not even kidding on that one. I don't know what it is about Filipinos. When they get drunk, some of them get mean as a snake.
I'm a mean drunk.
Well,
Not really.
you just mean.
Not really.
You just a drunk.
Well, I'm just mean, yes, and I'm just a drunk, correct.
And I'm just a bitch.
I wish I was a drunk, but anyway.
You're just a bitch. You're just a bitch.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, there's some things people can get pissed. It's just reality, and you're going to get people that are always going to
That's
go
right.
against what we say, and that we're know-it-alls, and we're this. Just speaking in general by observation, but it's
Oh,
what?
no, it's
Where?
no. This does happen. Yes.
Yeah, go ahead.
No, it's right there.
Well, you can't
Switch.
read it.
Oh, yeah. Met a foreigner, flew in. He had told a girlfriend only her can show up and meet him. 25 members showed up in 2 events, of course. He had to pay for
it's
all.
another
Well,
person,
see,
yeah.
that's the thing. Then that's his sign. If he's still with her, then I hate to say it, then he's a loser.
Well, how about that guy that was on Geo's that didn't even know that she had a ton of kids, but basically he met her online. He came and met her. They stayed in a hotel. They stayed in an apartment that he felt was too smart / condo. But the moment they moved in, like together, like, so he didn't even know the girl. It was all online relation. Then the guy came and he got the condo, like it was all set up. They go there first day, like 13 people moved in. That guy, 13 something people moved in, if I can remember the story correctly. But they all moved in, and he's like, whoa, where did all these people come from? He did not stop it. He just let them move in. They brought their clothes and suitcase, didn't ask, come through the door.
Yeah, well, guess what?
And then that situation at the point, he's like, listen, they can just stay here. We're going to go get a bigger place, blah, blah. He got the bigger place. They came. Turns out that all the kids that were allegedly her cousins were her kids.
Yeah,
they're married, by the way, at this point. They went and got married. The family was already living with him. The guy went and things got worse. He married her. The kids were hers. And it turned out in the end, she tried to hold his shit when he found that out. I think she even had the boyfriend living in the house. It wasn't the boyfriend living with him. All kinds of shit happened. But in the end, she held his passport, his laptop, kept all of his shit and stuff, and he had to go back with another expat later and get it and never turn back. But it's like there should have been some signs, man. If I'd have been like that on the first day, it'd have been hard because you're nervous when you get to the Philippines. You're trying to adjust to shit, so you're like, okay, well, we want her little family. You're impressing the girl and all that. But when they moved to the second house, and the next thing you know, they're 13 deep in the house. Yeah, that would have been, and it was not his decision. Like he said, he never wanted him there to begin with. And I'm sure there were fights over it. That would have been the sign right there to do something. But I get people holding on
No,
to relations.
that's his fault. He allowed everything. So
Philippines will invite the whole province for dinner.
right.
Yeah. With 1/4 and a 500,000 expats, it could have been crazy expats saying, I'm paying. Well, there's not that many in the Philippines. Is there really that many? Well, there might be. There might be.
No, not according to statistics. I mean, I get the statistics are wrong, but they're
How many expats are actually?
they're still
I don't know. But yeah, so
they're still what do you call it? I get statistics are wrong. I keep saying this. However, even with statistics are wrong, they're still proportionate, and no, it's not like that.
Psycho Crusher says, I'll
And
hand out job applications. Yeah, good luck on that.
but no, there are crazies, yes, and you know.
Yeah, he said, when I go to the Philippines, I'm not paying for anything. I'll hand out job applications.
Okay, actually, I will hand out job applications. Just real quick, Heidi mentioned earlier that this guy handed a Filipino 500 pesos to get change, right? And he never came back.
Yeah.
Yeah, the only time you do that is if you're testing the Filipino.
Yeah, like if they're working for you and you send them up to a
Correct.
sorry
That's
store,
the
and they must be working in your
only
house situation.
time you will do that. If you're not testing them,
And it's
to
just a
see if
random
they're
stranger
honest,
on the street. That's crazy. To
don't do
hand
it.
even
Or
$2 to
right
them here.
now, if you're looking for somebody,
You wouldn't
like
do
I
it in
said,
America.
then do it. But if not, then no. Yeah, it's no. In the U.S., you're not gonna do that. Here's $50. Go break it for me. No.
Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Sunday, night. Yes. I don't understand that. So I guess that was earlier. My comment was because in the U.S., you and George come on Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. Yeah, at 9 o'clock, not Sunday. Right. So yeah, that's where it's confusing. That's what we were saying. Yes. I mean, we were also talking about other people, but in general, yes, for you, that's when it actually
Just
is. So it is
remember,
confusing.
whatever
It is
days you
confusing
guys see on live, it's the day.
for others. Yeah.
Yeah, we're
Yeah, we
ahead of
understand.
you guys like 12 hours. So
Yeah. Why would expats tell their Filipinos or family other expats and else that matters how much their pensions are? These people are not your accountants, but they do.
they do. Again,
Even
like I
us,
said,
a lot of people say, why
well,
are you guys? Because we're trying to give you an ideal that on $2,000 a month being spent between the pets, groceries, outings, medicine, my medical, you guys know I'm self-pay, that even on that, right this minute, I cannot afford a new AC. I couldn't go in and buy a replacement washer without saving for a little bit. And people aren't coming in with that type of money every month. They're coming in with $1,000 a month. They're trying to tell you that that's what they're. But overall, I get what you're saying. We tell people for our reason, and even then, that's not exactly what's incoming. We tell you what our expenses are. These other expats, like George said, are leading with their wallets, and they like to brag as men. I've got $4,000 a month coming in. I got 6 TVs and a couple condos and a couple houses, and I own stuff back in the U.S. and I got 8 bank accounts, and I was a professional this, and they recreate themselves when they get here. Nobody knows nothing, who's to believe in what, but to go on about your pension does make you a major target. I'm surprised more of these guys haven't been napped somewhere. You know what I mean? Nap, kidnapped, kids naps. I'm surprised. I'm really shocked. Sometimes disappointed. Do you get disappointed that they don't pick up on some of these people? George's pimp money. Yeah, George's always got pimp money. I lived here for 11 years and still a foreigner. Yeah. Oh, yeah. You know.
oh yeah, no.
Yeah. Yeah, look, that's true. Some expats do brag some reasons, maybe to compensate for how they look and because they're treated, yeah, like kings. Yeah, no, it's true. People get scammed. Yeah, and I think people just lose it. The money does tend to go further. I'd say these days it's probably about half the cost of the U.S., probably a little less now because of inflation. and then shit's going up in the U.S. But I'd say it's about 50% on some things, and not even that on some. Some of the costs are getting to be U.S. Like I've seen treatments at salons for certain hair things and what they charge. I'm like, shit, that's what they charge in the U.S. now for this stuff. So it depends on what bougie place or where you're at in the mall or things. You could be looking at U.S. prices, but either way, yeah, it's
My grandpa says, expats a simp who can't speak his mind. Fair enough, yes. I agree.
Heidi, you have some seen photos of me. I look homeless. I live way below my means. Gotcha. That was second win.
I figured.
Well, and they are charts. It's 530 would have been something from 10 years ago. It just depends. Here's the thing. We really, for the people that are AIing information, that are getting charts, they're nowhere close to just living here. Every neighborhood will change it. I know that people say, oh, it's because you don't go and hang out with the rich is why you don't know that there are.
Which is worse, because
But
the rich people live in bubbles.
and the other part of it is that I know that a lot of the jobs are hiring under 1,000 pesos a day, and 1,000 is being generous. And then
That's
the
way
call
generous.
centers, maybe at Clark, are making 1,000 US. That's
and that
being
price
generous.
is going down by the day because of AI.
And that would be about 60,000 pesos. Okay. And those are the ones that kind of consider themselves elite. And we do double that and still have issues. But I don't know. But all I know is people are spending beyond their means. I also understand, well, it's never forgiven
Okay,
when
well-
you scam people, but I get the hustle thing too. Like, and if you do it like, you're out with your boyfriend and you convince him to buy you a purse and you service him later, I scam, oh, I manipulated him or something along that lines is a different thing. But
Yeah, and like I said,
I
again,
get why the hustle's on here.
I will always say this, and again, if you don't have to agree with me, but you can't convince me otherwise because I know the reality of things. I'm not talking about just Philippines. Statistics are always wrong. For example, minimum wage in the Philippines. The only time minimum wage applies in Philippines if the workers work for a big company. The reason being is because any other company, whether it's privately owned or whatever, or most of the time it's privately owned, most employees, here's the option. This is the pay. Do you accept? It's below minimum wage. Gee, what's my choices? I'm employed below minimum wage or not have a job at all. Let's think about this. This is the choices the average Filipino will have to choose from. And again, that's nothing to do whether you're rich, poor, or anything. The reality is this is what's going on in real life in the Philippines. Unless that company is a big company, they can say again, here's the price of the wage. Here's your wage. Take the job or leave it. It's up to you. If not, I have another person waiting. And guess what? They'll take it.
Yeah, people, that's
The
another
end,
thing.
There goes your statistics.
Yeah, that's
I could care less about your
underbid,
statistics.
Yeah.
And guess what? Most of these guys, you can drive your freaking own car, go in every freaking establishment that's privately owned, and good luck finding somebody getting paid above minimum wage.
Mhm.
Just saying.
So yeah, so even
Yeah.
So it's kind of it's a
So those charts, unfortunately, don't mean nothing.
Richie Rich is in the house. Yeah, we were just
Hey,
talking.
Richie Rich,
You're
how you
still
doing?
in
We just
here.
talked about you earlier
Yeah,
today.
the poll that you took 4 or 5 days
Yeah.
ago kind of tied into
Thank you,
this.
Rich. Appreciate it.
Yeah, he said, "Hey, George, I just slid into your live. Just sorry to hear about your father, man. Yeah, it's shock for him, shock for me. And I feel some fried chicken and some more donuts coming for George and a back massage, maybe a little lip action.
Yeah. Now, for those of you again who are late to the live, again, he's been sick a while, and I just haven't been saying anything. I'm not even hiding
And
you.
he's been dealing with his uncle. Yeah, I thought it was all
And
based on his uncle, and the most I thought is the family's on their way back.
when I did tell Heidi, it was a shock to her. She wasn't aware. She had no clue. So yeah, I've been again just
I
keeping
think
it to
that's.
myself and my family.
I told you guys
He's
he
been sick a
bottles it
while.
up.
Yeah, he's been sick a while.
No,
So.
it's so now it doesn't mean I wasn't meant to bust your chops, because not communicating is a bad thing, but I definitely have more of an understanding, and we've been talking all night and different things, and I said I'm here for you to lean on, and but sometimes with Filipinos, they're so nice and so sweet and so passive and quiet, they hold their feelings inside, and so I feel that's what you do, sweetie bear.
Yeah,
And so I understand it's your personal business, but it's I probably wouldn't have gave you such a hard time.
Yeah, and honestly, my dad is tough, and honestly, we expected him to last at least up until next year, but you know, it happens.
It's never to be expected or.
Yeah, we didn't expect it this soon. Yes.
Yeah, on birthdays, special occasions, I'm cool with treating Ching's family because they're pretty good to me, but I'm lucky they've never asked me for money. It's okay if you're doing a party and, like the United States, you pay for all the food. Now, depending on my family members, everybody will bring a potluck thing, and then you're sheltering or shouldering the beer and some other things. But even in my family, we tend to say, hey, here's 20 or 30 bucks when you walk in the door, and you're kind of trying to help. That's what, would happen. And if my sister had extra money, then she would just say, hey, don't worry about it. But I always try to discuss with the people. I never assume that's what's going on.
Right, and this.
You bring something and do something.
Yeah, and I'm not discounting what Richie Rich says again, because this is on birthdays and special occasions. Now, remember that Richie Rich is already invested in the family, and they're already a family. Keyword, they're already a family. This is just a date.
Yeah.
And what I'm saying, so don't misconstrue. I'm not talking about Richie Rich. I'm talking about you guys. What I'm saying is, if you're just going out on a date, even your date can't pull oh, it's my birthday card, and all of a sudden the entire family's there, because you're not invested. You know what I'm saying? That still doesn't constitute rights that it's her birthday, that you're supposed to treat the entire family.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Right. Hey, Victoria, it's not in a majority of culture to pay for the whole families when you first meet your partner. Filipinos are copycatting other Filipino vloggers to keep up with the Joneses.
No, correct.
Yeah, for content.
Correct.
Again,
that's the problem. Social media is a disease.
Yeah. So, hey, speaking of which, so we'll be working on some stuff based on some of that later. It isn't ideal for another channel.
Well, okay. Now, this is not a new thing. I did not come up with it. There's something called, knowledge is power. Okay, that's nothing new. Everybody's heard of that. Here's the problem: too much power, is a disease. I mean, too much knowledge is a disease. It's too much information is detrimental. The same. It always has been. It's the reason why. Right. The fact that even professionals don't tell you too much of any information, because if they tell you too much of anything, it can destroy them or destroy you. And if you don't understand what I'm getting at, eventually you will. But anyway. Yeah, AR Philippine Journey
is in the house. Hey, good morning.
In the house. I only saw one comment, and it was that sandwich in between. You didn't.
Okay, we're.
Yeah.
No. Yeah, because we discuss it every time. I don't get it either.
No, because we don't read every comment. We can't. That's what I'm getting at. Yeah, but not.
Okay, so let's go through the comments. Yeah, we're about ready to.
No, I know. I'm aware.
AI Coconut and the Thunder Rolls. What's good, Heidi and George? Okay, so yeah, that was 30 minutes ago. What's going on, AI Coconut? Just want to say hello through a couple people, grab a few things. Mary's down here on the floor. She's looking like a hot mess.
Oh, she's in the box.
Oh, is she pointing in the
Yeah.
box?
Heidi cut up a what is that? Is that a cottonelle box? It's like a. Well, anyway, she cut up a
That's
big box.
the-
She made a little
When the delivery boxes,
doggy door
they get in there and
hose,
play.
and the kids love it. They just lay in there and they love it. They take turns sleeping inside. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you, Victoria. George
Yeah, I
ran
mean,
not to
second
bottle it
one
up.
said, yeah, don't bottle.
Don't bottle up. It helps talk
Yeah.
about it.
No, it does, but I told you it's been like that with George, and it's frustrating, and I get why. I try to understand, and so, but I understand some more now. And like he said, it's something I knew from the beginning. I should now. It's not you have to just totally suck it up and say whatever. I was just hoping it would change. Like he was hoping my crazy would go away, but it didn't.
I didn't think it would, but okay.
One thing's for sure, you can always count on crazy, taxes, and
Like a spot says,
death.
for 6 likes, 81 views. Hit that thumbs up. Thanks so much. And Paranaque Angelo says, hit that bell. Yes, hit
All
that
right,
bell.
guys, we're gonna wrap this up. I'm gonna get some lunch in him and other things in him. We appreciate everybody
Thank you so much,
dropping
guys.
in
Appreciate
today,
you so much. Appreciate your support.
and we will see you guys Thursday, or I will come back through sooner. But we appreciate everybody coming in, and good night. Shana na 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 na.
No, that's
Good
a
night,
sha-na-na-na. Sha-na-na-na.
I'm pretty sure
Eh,
I don't think.
goodbye.
Which is it? Are you doing the Shana Na show, or is it that? Because it's
No, that's a goodbye song. Hey,
Good.
goodbye.
No, it's
Sha-na-na. I'm just saying.
Shana Na Na Na. Good night, sweetheart.
Oh,
Na,
then
na,
I don't know that one. That's
na,
before
na.
my
There
time.
was a show called, I forgot. I think that was the name of the show, Shana Na. I thought
No,
there was
no,
a
then
song
that
and a
would go
show
more
or
with what he
something
said, yeah.
else where the guy did
Yeah.
the.
Good night, all.
Good night.
Philippine Antics fans, and have a good day, George and Heidi. Bye. Second one says, later, Heidi. Big hugs.
Thank you,
Take
guys.
care, everyone. Thank you, guys. The top fans of today is number 1, Like a Spot. Number 2 is Second Wind.
Yeah.
Number 3, Raymond Walker is number 3.
Yeah,
Number 4
Bowser, yeah.
is Lucca, and number 5, of course, we have Angelo,
Yeah, it was
Victoria.
Bowser, so I was right.
Oh, okay,
it was
so it was Heidi.
Bowser.
Heidi's wrong. Who?
Heidi's wrong. Where'd you get Heidi's wrong? It is Bowser. It is the song.
No, I said right.
Oh, you just said I was wrong.
Oh, sorry. No, I
Prayers to
probably
George's
probably
family.
said I was wrong, but it didn't come out right. Because
Yeah.
sometimes your brain doesn't connect right. Yeah,
Well,
thank you
to be
so much, Robert
expected. You've
Goodson.
been through a lot
Prayers
of stress.
to all in George's family. Thank you so much. Appreciate you
All
guys. Oh, thank you so much. Thank you so much, Ted, for being with us today too, and Scott and
our members too.
yeah, Victoria and
Thank you for being our people.
Sarah. Sarah was with us today.
Sarah,
yes.